What's up, everybody? Sorry about being late. Literally a minute before we went live, or we're supposed to go live, my internet just completely died on me, and I had to reset everything.
It just crashed on all of us.
I mean, it crashed bad, but we're here now, and we're just ready to go. We have Richmond to talk about this week. We have the Bristol Night Race that's coming up. Ooh, I love that race. We have AJ Allmendinger. We got schedule stuff. NASCAR is like, I know every sport gets excited for schedules, but NASCAR, it seems like it's just to another level, especially since they've been going new. But let's start it off with Richmond. I want to know from your guys' perspective how the race was, because being there in person, it had its moments, and I could see a lot of racing in the pack, but I'm going to admit it was probably the most boring race in person I was at. I don't want to be negative about it. I'm gonna be honest. I was falling asleep.
It was probably more exciting in person. I definitely was falling asleep on the couch.
Yeah, look, I'm gonna be honest here. Like Richmond, it's just one of those tracks where now, like, it doesn't wow you anymore. Like I think in the 90s and some parts of the early 2000s and for a brief moment in 2014, it for sure wowed us. But I don't know, it's just lately, it's just consistently been just there, really. I mean, it's not terrible, but it just doesn't wow you anymore like it used to.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. It's a couple different grooves of racing. I do like the night race atmosphere, and I know that's one thing that I want to hear your take on in a moment, Jared, the atmosphere, especially during pre-race. But other than that, it's kind of just typical Richmond. It's decent racing. It kind of had a blowout towards the end. Hamlin closing on Truex made it somewhat interesting towards the end, but nobody ever really thought Truex's lead was in serious jeopardy. So, at least the playoff drivers continued to kind of make mistakes throughout the evening, whether it was McDowell, Busch, they all had mistakes. Truex on the initial start, all had issues at some point, or the Kurt Busch blowing a tire and wrecking. That was a dramatic moment at least, but it's a 3.5 hour race and there are only a few big moments scattered throughout it. It was fine. It was a very average race.
The first 300 laps were pretty good in my opinion, and then the last 100 were just like really bad. Yes,
yeah,
dragged on really for too long there.
What did you think overall of it, Danny?
Yeah, no, it was definitely a snoozer is how I describe it. It's not surprising to me that they are losing the playoff race because I just don't think that it fits there anymore.
Yeah. It's just, go ahead.
I really quick want to say hey to Smoke Carbon. It was really cool hanging out with you. And yes, I did hug you at Richmond.
That's a random comment.
I'll say this. Richmond for me was definitely better. I mean, obviously most races are, but for me, it was better in person than it was at home. You could see a lot more of the track. There was racing. There was multiple. Holy Jesus! We'll get to that at the halfway point.
Okay.
And thank you. But I will say it was a lot better in person. With that being said, to me, the best part of the night, for the most part, was pre-race. I want to talk about that really quick.
Yeah, go for it.
So they handed us when we walked in, at least from what I could see, small American flags. And I didn't bring mine in. It's in my car right now. And so everybody had American flags waving. They had, I believe so they had a fire truck. There was a lot of stuff for police, ambulance, a lot of stuff just for a lot of heroes for 9/11. They had, I don't know if they showed it on TV. They had a flyover that then did like, I don't know how many laps.
They showed that. They started circling the track.
It was amazing in person. And the fact that Richmond had so many people there, which I was really happy to see,
it was packed.
It made it even better. Like I wish I would have gotten it ready for the show to put on there, but tonight, but I have this shot of that fire truck coming by and you just see all these American flags waving. And it's just like a sea of American flags on the camera.
See, I'm glad to know that they did have that because they honestly didn't. I don't think they showed the American flags enough on TV. Like they said that the fans had American flags. They said that during the Xfinity race and the Cup race, but I never saw.
I saw them.
Like during pre-race, they panned over the speedway during pre-race.
There's no close-ups.
So there were two different tributes to 9/11. So that was the one on the Cup race. For the Xfinity race, what happened is they had everybody stand up from laps 9 through 11 and had a moment of silence, and that was really moving too to see. I don't know if they probably showed that on TV.
On the broadcast. The broadcast went silent. Well, the announcers did, and I wasn't sure if they made an announcement over the PA or something, because it looked like all the crew members were in on it. They knew it was going to happen, so they stood up on the pit boxes with the American flags, and then they kind of cut to the stands on TV, and you saw people kind of looking around and realizing, oh yeah, stand up. Like everyone kind of suddenly realized what was happening, and so
they didn't
joined
tell
in.
us.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. So that's pretty cool.
First.
That's cool that they all sort of, everyone kind of noticed the moment. Like, coming into it, nobody was probably expecting it. Like, you didn't show up to the race like, oh, I can't wait for lap 9. But it was cool that everyone kind of saw what was happening on pit road and sort of joined in, is what it looked like. I thought that was pretty neat.
So yeah, it was that, and then they had stuff set up on the scoring pylon too, but it was hard to see because it was very small. But it did feel very organic in the moment. I wanted to bring like attention to that just in case, I don't know what the broadcast, I'm assuming the broadcast did a good job.
Oh, dude, they had like a whole pre-race thing, like with new interviews from Junior when he won at Dover a couple weeks after 9/11. They really went all out for it. Yeah, definitely.
Well, I'm glad, because that was something I was wondering.
And then even Jeff Burton during the pre-race was like preaching, unity in the country right now, because it's so divided and stuff like that. And I know Jeff Burton gets a lot of crap for, stuff he says in the booth and stuff like that, and not being a good commentator sometimes, but pre-race, saying that, that message and stuff, that was pretty cool.
Well, and I'm just, I can say, and this will finish off just this, because we do got to get to the racing. Yeah. I will say, being there, like, just realizing the moment, especially during the Cup race, like I did get misty eyed, because I was just looking around and just like, it was nice to see just sort of that moment, like, it's weird to say a moment of peace in person, but it felt like a moment of peace. You could see people just sort of, nothing else for that little moment mattered but that, and it was really cool to see. You don't see that too much, but something you do see a little bit is trouble for playoff guys. I'm on a segue.
Yeah.
I am probably not the most
impressive segue.
And I'd give that a 6 out of 10. But there were some problems for playoff guys. Some of them recovered, some didn't. I want to ask you guys, because see, the lines at Richmond were awful, and I got stuck in one of them, so I only could see a little TV. Man, that Kurt Busch one came out of nowhere. Like, at least
he lost the wheel. It wasn't on all the way.
The tread. It was a flat.
Or the tread. The flat.
Yeah, it was weird because he didn't know it either. I was watching Radioactive today, and they came out of the pits, like, I think they came out with the lead or top 2. They had a good pit stop, maybe too good, I don't know. They come out on the track, and I think during the pace laps, at least that's where it was played over Radioactive, he says something like, hey, I think I might have a flat left rear as they're going green. And then, it was like 3 laps in. He lost a couple of spots. It was clear something was wrong, and then it just snapped. That was one of those, there's a Twitter account. I don't know if they watch the show. I feel like it's the kind of Twitter account that would. It's like perfectly cut NASCAR screams. And then it was like one of those where Kurt goes spinning at the wall, and the broadcast all collectively went, oh! Right as he slammed the wall.
And of course, Junior is like screaming during it. So I'm like, oh!
Trouble car on the wall here! No. It looked like a big hit. It was scary at first because he hit driver's side. Driver's side kind of pancaked it, honestly. So I'm sure it rattled him a little bit. He obviously got out. Thankfully, seemed to be okay. But huge hit. He came into this race, I think, 4th plus like 26, and I think he leaves like just barely in, like by 1 or 2 points.
He is tied currently, and we'll get to the playoffs. He's tied currently with Alex Bowman. So I guess we can. I want to talk about a little bit the finish, because I don't know if there was really too much action. I didn't really see too much action, to be completely real with you.
They didn't show much on TV.
Yeah, so it's just Truex was gone.
I will say this, at the track, you could see how much Hamlin was running Truex down those last 40 laps. Like, I heard a lot of people being like, we all knew Truex was going to win. Like, at the track, I mean, I might be the only one just because I was, running on 3 hours of sleep, but it did seem like being there that, like, man, if Truex gets caught up in traffic, like in one corner, like Hamlin will get him. Like,
I mean, even on the broadcast, they were talking about it like, oh, well, Hamlin, he's got to close in. Like, I think it was like 8 or 7.5 seconds once he was, up to full speed after his pit stop. And I mean, on the final lap, he was like, he did close it to like 1.6 seconds, but I mean, it was just It was still a bit of ways off, though, unfortunately. So, I mean, it was a pretty good effort, at least, though.
They kept it somewhat interesting on the broadcast because I think with maybe granted, it was only like 5 or 6 laps to go at this point, but they played a communication between James Small and Truex where I think Small said something like, "Hey, like he's within 3 seconds, we gotta go," and Truex was like, "Gone." Like he Lewis Hamilton did. He's like, "I have no tires," and started to.
But he also was like,
one lap.
He was
sliding around. You could see it.
He was also kind of like, "Hey, just let me drive here." Like he didn't exactly say that, but there was at one point where he was like, "Hey, dude, I know what I'm doing."
A couple moments like that this year, not to get all like drama focused or anything, but like.
Well, I mean, like Truex, he's the veteran, and this is a brand new crew chief, so I feel like I think there'll be that sometimes.
Some Jimmy Johnson, Chad Knaus-esque little snippy moments in the last few.
Hey, they've won 4 races. So
I know, but Jimmy Johnson and Chad Knaus had won like 4 or 5 championships by the time they started jawing at each other. So I just there's a little bit of a difference there. You just never know, but obviously results speak for themselves. He held on and won, but I thought that was interesting.
Yeah. Really quick because I do want to get really quick about this, but could someone please edit Eric saying that over Lewis Hamilton driving?
Did I do a decent impression? Did you like my?
Yeah, it was good. I liked it.
Or as Radman likes to quote in his 2000 or Thunder 03 videos, books, Lewis, books.
I just want a crew chief to tell a driver to box in NASCAR.
I don't think I've ever made a Formula One reference in public, so I'm glad that didn't go horribly wrong.
Well, I'll say that the thing I didn't understand about what Hamlin and his team was doing is you could see Truex gaining time because he pitted before other drivers like Hamlin did. And I was wondering as those pit stops were going, I'm like, maybe they were just running it right to the end, but it seemed like they were running more of a tire strategy. Why didn't Hamlin pit before Truex did? Because it was easy to see like when they were going to be pitting.
I remember thinking Truex seemed to pit very early in that last cycle. I remember Kyle Busch was on the last pit stop. He got hit with was it a speeding penalty? He had a tire penalty earlier in the race, I believe. Yeah. So I think originally it looked like it might come down to Busch, Truex, Hamlin, or Busch was going to be involved, and I think that was maybe who Truex reacted to.
I just realized this too. Like they finished 1, 2, 3. If Kyle Busch doesn't get that speeding penalty, 1, 2, 3, that's 4. Another 1, 2, 3, 4 finish.
They were 1, 2, 3, 4 a lot of the night.
I thought they were going to be able to do it.
Yeah, dang it, KFB, but hey, still got a good finish at least.
Looking down here right now, we have the playoff cut line. I can read it off really quick. Ryan Blaney. So I'll be real. If they're like way ahead or they're locked in,
they're fine.
Larson locked in on points. Just to mention that he did.
Yes,
he did. So Ryan Blaney is 5th plus 28. Harvick is plus 25 and 6th. Chase Elliott plus 19 and 7th. 8th is Christopher Bell plus 17. He's the one who surprised me this round, but I'll get to him in a bit. 9th is Brad Keselowski plus 13. KFB only plus 8 in 10th. I want to ask you guys on the spot, all 3 of you. Should Kyle Busch be worried going into Bristol?
Yeah, it's Bristol.
I don't
Bristol,
think he can't race worried. I think he just has to go out. I've seen him drag a carcass of a race car up into the top 5 at Bristol before. So I think barring any catastrophic issues, I think he'll be okay. I think he's got enough talent there.
I mean, like obviously. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I would not be worried if I'm Kyle Busch. He knows that like the back of his hand. As long as there's no dirt on it, he's fine.
I mean, we've seen Kyle Busch catch up and get caught up into some bad luck there before, though. So I mean, like anything can happen in Bristol, though. But I mean, for the most part, this is a bread and butter track for KFB. So I think worst case scenario, if he finishes the race, the top 10 run would be the worst case scenario, and then he'll just make it in. But then we'll see.
I wanted to say 2018 night race. He went down a lap and came back and had no rear bumper on his car and was looking like he could win that until something happened to him. And then in 2019, he also had a crash on the opening lap and come back to win that one in the spring. So Kyle Busch, don't worry.
Well, and then behind him in 11th is Eric Almirola. We talked about Kurt Busch and Alex Bowman tied. Kurt Busch has a tiebreaker at the moment. Tyler Reddick is 14th -5. William Byron -18 and 15th. And 16th is the
just put him out of his misery. Just
put him out.
I can't watch. Oh no.
So I think because I'm going to ask, I want to hear you guys on the spot, your 4 predictions of who's not going to make it. Can I just take Michael McDowell off the board? Can that be a gimme?
Yeah, so we can
the free space on the
go ahead and
board.
take him out back and end it. So
yeah. Take him out to pasture. Take him out to pasture.
Breaking the fourth wall. Jared, as he said that, deleted McDowell from our itinerary, our Google Doc
Yeah.
that we're all reading off of.
As well.
He just
I mean,
just
you might
deleted
as well at this point. So
That's
Michael
pretty
McDowell,
bad.
obviously for all of us, we know is not going to make it.
All right, so who are your other three? Who wants to start off? Because I'll be real, I put myself on the spot a little bit with it too.
Well, let's just
It's
start. Let's just
hard.
start. William Byron minus 18. I don't think he makes it. They struggle at Richmond. I don't know how good he is at Bristol, but he's going to need to finish top 5 in all the stages to have a shot. I don't think he's going to do it. I think Byron's eliminated.
I'm going to be honest here too. I'm with Eric on that one. I mean, it's going to take a lot. I mean, like now, if you were behind like -8, then that would be a much different story. But, you know, -18 there, you got some other competitive guys, you know, vying for playoff spots as well. Yeah. I mean, if we have at least one Hendrick car get eliminated in the first round, it'll probably be William Byron.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think, Danny?
I'm going through average finishes. Out of those few drivers there towards the end, Tyler Reddick, I feel better about. His average finish at Bristol is actually 16th, but he's only had 2 chances to do it. He finished 4th here last year, actually, in the night race. So that bodes pretty well for him. I'm pretty worried about Bowman. His average finish is 20th. He did good randomly in 2018, got 5th and 8th there, but after that, nothing much. Byron, I'd be definitely worried about him. His average finish is 19th. And then, yeah, Almirola is actually worst of them all. He's average finish of 23rd, so I'd be worried about Almirola here. Kurt Busch, we don't worry about him. He
won here in like 18, right? Or
yeah, he's won here like 6 times, maybe as many as his brother.
He's won here a few times. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Something like
I
that.
think Kurt Busch is okay. I think Eric Almirola is in trouble, even though he's +3 right now. I just don't trust that car's speed.
I'm gonna throw a wild card for you guys because I have McDowell, Byron, Almirola.
Okay.
This team for me just has not been on it this year.
Uh-oh.
I think the driver, everyone is sort of checking out at this point. I don't think they should be where they are right now. This goes to the line. I'm going Brad Keselowski.
See, I
Yeah,
had Keselowski get
yeah.
out to begin this round, but he's +13. I think I'm with you, Jared. He's going to run 12th all night, but he's probably going to finish 12th. He's going to avoid the catastrophic race, and I think he's going to limp his way through to the next round, at least the way things are going. I think, but I was with you 2 weeks ago. Let me put it this way. I was 100% with you 2 weeks ago, and they have not shown that much speed these first 2 playoff races.
We have had it proven though. I mean, we had talked about, I think that was Kurt Busch 4th up 26, and now he's literally 0 points in.
Yeah.
So it's like it's so close. This is the first time in a while for me that's felt like the first round of the playoffs actually has some meaning to it when it comes to who can get eliminated.
It's definitely not as predictable as in years past.
Because the drivers that, like, if Tyler Reddick makes it through this first round, which may be a long shot at this point, but if he makes it through this first round, I think he could go to the next round. He could go round of 8. I think the second round is such a wild card round, and there are enough decent cars, 10th to 16th on the grid, that if you make it through this first round, hell, Michael McDowell could win at the Roval or Talladega in the next round and get to the round of 8 if he's not careful. But you got to get through this first round first.
Well, and you look at the ones who could fall out. Like, tell me if I read these off, which ones couldn't make it to the round of 8 or make a Final Four run? Brian Blaney, Chase Elliott, Brad Keselowski, Kyle Busch, Kurt Busch, and I'll even throw in Alex Bowman and William Byron, seeing how last year Bowman went on such a run at the end of the year.
No, that's true. If Byron gets eliminated this first round, and heck, even if Bowman gets eliminated this first round, which is, I'd honestly, at this rate, with the lack of speed they've shown the last 2 weeks, he'd be my 4th guy out in this first round. I just don't see it happening. But if one or both of those drivers get out, I think the Joe Gibbs cars, for sure, those teams have to be looking at 2 heavyweights that just got knocked out in the first round because they just didn't have the speed. I mean, that's a little weight off their shoulders, a little pressure off their backs.
It's just crazy how, after, potentially after round 1, we could have not just 1, but 2 HMS cars out of the playoffs entirely after the first round. It's nuts.
I don't know what all would have to happen for this to happen. I know he's plus 28, but Ryan Blaney has had a lot of races at Bristol where he's been crashed out.
Yes.
I'm not going to trust
I
him.
remember 2018, the spring race. He was leading. All that lap traffic straight up took him out in the first 50 laps there. It looked like he had a good car early on.
I can't trust him. I mean, his average finish is only 18th here, so
yeah, he's a little suspect here.
He's had the speed. Is like
he's done better. He's done better as of late. And the funny thing is, I'm looking at some of these finishes here. That in in 2020, he finished second in stage 1, but had that crash with Ty Dillon, and he finished 40th. So if that happens, if he finishes 40th, I don't care if he got second stage 1, he's probably out.
His finishes have not been indicative of where he's ran. And that's where I'm seeing that. I think this season, it does feel different for Blaney. Now we can come back next week and someone can clip this and be like, wow, look at what a dumbass Jared is. But
all of us are.
It does feel like this year he's capitalized more on where he's ran compared to other years. I mean, obviously with the wins, that really shows to it. I do feel like Blaney is a bit of a different driver this year, and maybe that's because he's higher up now on the Penske totem pole. Because I feel like Brad Keselowski is just like that.
He's been demoted. Like, oh, you're not going to be here next year, so no reason for you to stay in the meetings and find out what we're doing.
So I'll ask you guys this last one before we move from the playoff talk. There's one person, just one driver who seems like they should be an easy lock, but could be a shock miss at the end of this race. Who would you pick?
I mean, just based on the entire season, I mean, he's turned it around for now, but I mean, I'm looking at this playoff cut line. I mean, at the playoff grid, Kevin Harvick is plus 25 there. I mean, he did win here last year though, but I mean, I'm just saying this year in the regular season, he's been a little suspect sometimes, but I'm not saying he will, but if a lot would have to happen, I think, for that to happen, of course, but I would pick him.
I'd say Chase Elliott. Well, no, I think Kyle Busch is the most realistic that could get eliminated because he's only +8, and Bristol,
most realistic,
if he finishes last, he's in trouble. But I think Kyle Busch is good enough at Bristol; he'll overcome that. So I look at Chase Elliott, the defending champion, is only +19, and Larson's been the star at Hendrick this year, but Chase Elliott's got a couple wins and has been very consistent himself. I think. I don't know. A lot of people have him in the championship 4. Chase Elliott's a very real deep playoff pick, and when you're only +19, as we keep saying, Kurt Busch lost about 26 points in one race to the cut line because he had a tire issue that he didn't even realize he had, and still doesn't understand how it happened. Something like that happens to Chase Elliott early in this race, and that'd be a shocking elimination early.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I already said it. Depending on how Blaney's day goes, he could easily lose it all here in Bristol.
Well, I'll pick someone outside of Brad Keselowski here for this one. I mean, for how he's ran and how I think he should run at Bristol, I'd say Christopher Bell. I mean, he's +17 right now. He's really surpassed pretty much everyone's expectations for him so far, and the Gibbs cars are doing a lot better. But again, Bristol is Bristol. It could really, he could be knocked out in one corner. Ryan Newman could come up in front of him and mess up his fender.
I wanted to say him, but we've also never had a chance to see him properly in our Joe Gibbs car at Bristol, because obviously dirt Bristol, and last year was Levine family, so he hasn't had the right chance for me to say yes or no on that.
I just think with how good JGR has been lately, he really could have a chance at going far if he keeps the consistency up. And I want to, before we move on, I want to shout out in the chat that Vote Kyle 3000 said Brad has senioritis.
Very nice.
Phoning it in,
ready to go to college.
Well, this college is Roush. He might hit a few balls there.
He's got a lot of work to do there, basically.
Well, looking at the ratings for this past week, it was slightly better than last year. But in a way, because of how it's just slightly been getting better, there's actually a cool stat about the ratings this week. So it was a 1.07 rating, which is plus 2 hundredths of a rating point. I think that's what it is. Plus 2 hundredths of a rating point. And then 1.784 million viewers watched this week, which means 44,000 more than this race last year, on top of the fact that we did have fans at this race. And really cool stat here, even though it's by a small amount, this was the highest watched fall Richmond race since 2017.
Hey, that's good. Hey, we went back all the way to 2017.
It got 1.7 million viewers. That's
crazy.
That's not great for Richmond, but that's good for this race. Richmond race, I guess, specifically.
I'll say on this show, we were wondering in 2018 if Richmond would be the first race to go under a 1.0 rating. And it's like, it's staying afloat, baby.
It's still somehow, some way.
I do think it's interesting.
Barely hanging on.
That's 2 weeks in a row. First 2 playoff races where the ratings and the viewership have been a tick higher than last year. So I think NASCAR, everyone's got to be feeling a little, at least okay about that.
Yeah.
Keep that momentum up. So let's Darren, what do we got next, man?
Yes, we have the poll, the famous Iceberg poll, and we don't have a new poll record.
No, just like
because it's Richmond.
Yeah, just like the TV audience, the voting audience was a little smaller. So we had 11.7 thousand who voted on the poll this week. I asked you, what did you think of the 2021 Federated Auto Parts Salute to First Responders? 13% of you said this was a great race. 30% said it was a good race. 46% of you said average. 7 said below average, and 4 said bad. I don't have the numbers pulled up right now, but that's around where the other Richmond races have been.
The Jeff Gluck poll was way worse.
The Gluck poll was interesting. It was like 55% positive, I think, like 55% yes. But so, like, I think he had a stat that like 5 of the last 7 Richmond races have failed to hit 60% positive. And I'm like, oh, that's not great for Richmond.
Yikes, that's not good.
And the thing is, too, like, I'll be real, because I do vote on the Jeff Gluck poll. And I'll be honest with you guys, because it doesn't mean if you say no, it doesn't mean it was a bad race. Just can mean average and not good. Yeah. I accidentally hit good.
I hit no.
One thing, if you want to say it's average, what do you actually say? Do you say it was horrible, or what do you say then?
Well, it's a yes or. I think with that, it's a yes or no question. So it's just.
See, at least with the Iceberg poll, the famous Iceberg poll, you have 5 options.
I like giving options. Like I like letting people choose like what they think of it. And something else they can choose to do is comment. And the number one comment that I have on my screen is from Buy Not. It says this was definitely one of those races where you really felt all 400 laps. That's awesome. Let's see what we got here. Rudy K says stages 1 and 2 were surprisingly good. Stage 3 dried out quite a bit. And let's take a moment to realize how great Ross Chastain is with the 750.
Yes, dude. He's been like immediately as soon as the play. Like, imagine if he made it. Imagine if he made the playoffs, how good he would be.
He'd be looking good right now going to the next round.
Yeah. He's just got to get that consistency up.
Yeah.
I've read this guy before, but I just love his username so much. Bruh, I'm a pigeon says, quoting Dale Jr., we don't see dominance much anymore. What series have you been watching?
Oh, he did say that.
It comes in waves. It's not like full season.
Yeah.
Well, no, last year.
Well, you also have to remember he grew up watching his dad in the 80s and stuff and 90s as well. And in the 80s, Dale Sr. would win like 10, 12 races a season, it seemed like sometimes. So I think his definition of dominance might be different.
What was the last double-digit win season in NASCAR?
Jeff Gordon, 1998.
Was it Gordon? No, Jimmy Johnson.
Oh, no, Jimmy Johnson. Yeah, Johnson. Yeah, my bad. Johnson. Yes.
Yeah, Johnson.
Yeah, sorry.
Carl Edwards was close, and Kevin Harvick was close, but it was Jimmy 07, I think.
Yeah, he was on a rail.
I feel like I'm forgetting one, but I'm pretty sure it's been because I had made a comment on a stream or a video, and I was like, it was actually it was pretty recent the last time someone won double-digit races, 2007. They're like, Jarrett, that was almost 15 years ago. I'm like,
it feels recent to me. It feels recent to me, man.
It's recent to me.
It's like
that's a meme.
Jarrett, we've been through like 3.5 versions of the car now since then.
Yeah.
The wing has come and gone, Jarrett. Wow.
They even took away the splitter and put like a solid thing there for a minute.
Yeah.
All right, we got to move on before I have an existential crisis. So looking here, Josh Carney says, not a bad race by any means. I'm not a Truex fan necessarily, but it's still cool seeing someone absolutely dominate a section of a race to win it. I mean, it's different. We don't see it as much anymore.
It's different. Yeah.
I'm sorry. The super chat says, bruh, he's a pigeon.
I'm sorry, not to kind of like go back to what we were talking about, but Camelot 331, I've been seeing him in the chat tonight. Casey Kane and Newman come close. I knew about Newman. I didn't know Casey Kane come close.
In 2006, he won 6 races. So, I mean, like, Junior kind of sort of came close, I guess you could say. But
Kenseth had 7 in 2013.
Let's see. Elliot Fan says JGR could have had a 1, 2, 3, 4 finish if Kyle had gotten 4th. But other than that, 5 out of 10. So wait, is he?
I don't understand his criteria.
He must be a Joe Gibbs Racing fan.
Oh, I love that, Danny. I love it. We're bringing lyrics back. Hail to the king. Nice. That's awesome. I'm hearting that.
I didn't even know that got a lot of likes. I didn't check on it.
No, it got 3, but I found it.
Oh.
I'm the third.
It's just immediately just scrolls through it.
Awesome.
That's funny.
Oh, that's so
I've
cool.
missed the lyrics. I need to be more lyrics again.
Hail to the king.
Musical show.
Maybe they can use that for the intro on the broadcast for Richmond next year. Let's see. Let's get to the bottom. Let's get to the bottom of this and see what comment we have.
Oh God, the bottom of the barrel.
Jeez, for not very many votes, there was a lot of. Okay, there were a lot of comments. All right, last comments from Random Stuff 4.
Oh, it's got to be negative.
Negative.
It's gonna be a real Debbie Downer.
All right, it's gonna be a long one here. It's gonna be a book.
If it's long, it's negative.
Oh God.
Rigged.
Rigged.
That's it. That's the comment.
What's chapter 2? Oh.
And then, wait a minute. We could say if we go down here, that the final one is, and I'm not reading that.
Hey.
How about you bleep stuff out?
Okay. Bleep, art, bleep, and bleep.
Oh God.
Wow. We
Dude,
got absolutely
that's
nothing from that.
That is poetry. That's poetry.
I was sitting here trying to think, why on earth would NASCAR rig a race for Martin Truex Jr.? And then I realized both winners on Saturday drove the Bass Pro Shops machines. Whoa,
Johnny Morris.
Johnny Morris. He's got deep
He's stealing
pockets.
Well, speaking of both, I just saw that super chat. Speaking of both races here, we got the Xfinity race. I want to start out with stage 1. Tommy Joe Martin stole the show, and
Standing ovation.
Dang. He did steal the show. He almost had that. I mean, props to Allmendinger for getting that win. But we're all standing.
Yes, yeah, it's standing over. Oh,
All rise.
We were all doing it. All right, but yeah, no, that was pretty cool. Pretty cool to see. Unfortunately, he got jinxed later on in the race.
I saw.
Does that count as podcast good luck?
I think
hey, that's the best TV time he's gotten in a while.
Exactly.
I saw him tweet that he talked to David Starr, and David Starr kind of apologized and then said, "Yeah, but I did it on purpose to try and stay on the lead lap." So David Starr, man.
David Starr apologized, and then I've never heard a driver apologize and say, "By the way, I did do it on purpose."
I'm wondering though if during the week Tommy Joe gets a call and it's Noah Gragson being like, "I feel you, man."
Hey, honestly, I even want to apologize to Noah Gragson. I still think that Homestead deal was just a fluke tire went down, but now after what we've seen David Starr do, maybe he did screw up. Maybe it was I ran out of time. Maybe Gragson was right. I will at least give him that.
Yeah, he's got a point.
Well, we had that. We had a frantic fight for the stage 1 win. Well, we also had a frantic fight for just the race win, between the basically, I like to call the final minutes of an NBA game where it goes on forever with cautions. And the fact that there were just a lot of people that were vying for the lead, 3 wide passing for the lead, different tire strategies. So you guys at home knew a lot more than me, because I'm sitting here seething in anger about Junior's horrible strategy.
Oh, yeah.
Only had to find out before he sped that it was an actual good one. So I want to ask you, what was the strategy calls with everyone out there?
I mean, it just seemed like everyone was just out of tires, and then they were just the drivers who did pit during the caution laps will get much older tires, I guess. But I don't know.
I don't remember how many laps. I think it was about 60 laps to go. Everyone had one set of tires left. And so most everybody came in and put that final set on. Dale Jr. and a few others near the front stayed out, thinking we'll probably get a caution in the last 30 or 40 laps, and then we'll put our fresh tires on and we'll blow through the field. And so that was the theory. That was the plan. Caution came out with 30-ish laps to go, and it looked like it was going to work out okay for Dale and friends until he sped on pit road. Even then, he drove up. He finished 14th, right? I don't know what the amount of time, because there was a bunch of other cautions that followed it. With all the restarts in a row and everyone having scuffs on, he probably was going to maybe get to 7th or 8th. I don't know that he was going to win. It was a risky strategy that I didn't mind them trying, because I don't think maybe you'll probably agree, Jared. I don't think he was going to win straight up from where he was at. He looked like he was about a 7th or 8th place car by the end.
Yeah, no, I thought that when I was watching it that he had I think he had a top 5 car. I think he just didn't have a good enough car to get past traffic. He wasn't going to stay with those top 3. Those top 3 were just in another league that day. or that race, I should say. It was the same day. But I'll say that I enjoyed watching him still be competitive and drive up through the pack. And then I saw this awesome line he had where he's like, "It's like Christmas back here." and I think it was NASCAR Man, I think it was, who compared it with an old one where he's like, "Effing bleep and bleep, 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 F him." And I'm just like, man, retirement changes the driver.
It does. He's more chill.
Well, I thought it was funny. You probably saw it, Jared, but early in the race, he was kind of going back and forth in like 18th with Josh Williams, and they played both of their audio over the broadcast. Dale was bumping him, saying, he's probably not happy, but this is a lot of fun. I'm just racing. Or they then hear Josh Williams' audio, and it's either him or his spotter, like, he thinks he owns the place. God, it's cursing.
Well,
like,
no,
what is he doing
Josh
out there?
Williams, they were like laughing.
They were fine after the race,
yeah.
but it was like in the heat of battle, Dale was just on cruise control, having the time of his life, and Josh Williams and team were like, "What is he doing, this dude?"
So, yeah, that I'll admit, I want to say this as a junior fan, like Josh Williams does not deserve a bunch of hate for him because they were battling hard for.
Oh wait, were people hating on him?
Dude,
Josh Williams said that someone legit burned a hero card.
Yeah,
man, he is doing his job. And dude, why it's always funny. Junior fans all the time, and I'm a diehard junior fan. But why is it like?
I'll admit, I wouldn't have gone that far, but I admit I would have been probably a toxic junior fan if I was not, if I
you
was,
wouldn't burn his hero card. Though.
I wouldn't go that far, dude. If I'm not gonna spend that's like literally the equivalent of burning your money. Like, why the hell would you do that? That's so stupid.
He's doing his job. I'm gonna burn his hero card now.
So one more thing though, big thing in this race. Noah Gragson won back-to-back races and literally burned the tires off the back of his car. I mean, they're like, he was driving just like there's no rubber on his tire at the end of his burnout.
I don't know what him and that team were doing before, but they've been doing the past couple of weeks. Just keep doing it, man. Like
they're trying to sign for 2022. That's what they're doing.
Yeah. So basically,
he probably could have gotten a better contract if he'd won these races before he signed that.
That's
deal.
What I'm saying. Like
if he'd been winning before, I'd be like, oh hey, so maybe do you want that cup team? Noah, you interested?
I mean, perhaps Jared's right here. I mean, it seems like ever since he signed, long term. I mean, at least for next year, of course, but. Now that he signed up for next year, it's a done deal. It seems like now he's good. He's all relaxed and stuff. Yeah, he's all good.
Like the Kirk Cousins of NASCAR. I had to say it. I was at the game. Right? I was at the game. Just I had to say something about that. No, Noah Gragson's better though. But looking at the playoff cut line right now, I thought I didn't put anything in there. I actually did that intentionally. Realizing that nobody can make it enough points anymore.
Yeah. What?
It's impossible. Riley Herbst is 66 ahead of Michael Annett.
Oh, Herbst did it. He did it, boys. He did it, boys.
Well, hey, but Michael Annett could still win, or Brandon Brown, or whoever else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Eric,
those guys.
You're struggling to say it with a straight face.
Well, hey, Bristol. I feel like Bristol something.
It's kind of an
happen.
equalizer. Yeah, it's kind of an equalizer, sort of. You see some of the underdogs run up front, or dark horse teams run up front sometimes.
Oh come on, Ty Gibbs is racing.
That's true. Ty Gibbs is in this race. Sam
Never
Mayer's
mind.
in this race.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait to see Sam because he has won here in the Truck Series. Yeah, so
at 17 years old.
Yeah.
Well, before we get to Bristol, we got to go through something happening after Bristol, the 2022 schedule.
Yeah,
there's a lot of changes. I think the majority are really good. Do you guys want me to just read through them, or do you want to hit them like one by one?
We have a lot here. I mean, let's just go one at a time.
Some of them small.
Yeah, be quick. Like the big news, obviously, is that it's confirmed the Clash is moving to the LA Coliseum, February 6th, 2 weeks before the 500. How we feeling, boys?
I hate it. You know how I feel. I hate it.
I thought maybe your opinion had changed a little with time. Oh, well.
Well, I will say I don't hate it to the point that I'm gonna just sit there if it's a good race and say it's a bad race. I think it'll probably be a good race. You're
probably gonna watch on TV and wish you was there, probably.
No, I won't because I'll be a week before a marathon and I don't want to screw up my sleep schedule.
And Jared hates California with a passion. He tells me all the time he hates it.
I don't hate. We'll get to that later. California. There's elements about California.
There's elements about California. I don't like it either. I don't like
the poop patrol. No, but I think it'll be a good race. I do. I think it'll probably be a good race. My thing is, I don't think this is a viable long-term deal that they're doing.
That's just my only concern. Like obviously I applaud NASCAR for trying to, venture out to different places and so. I mean, well, it's really not really a different area. I mean, they have raced in California, before, but I mean, specifically building a short track inside, the famous LA Coliseum, that's pretty damn ambitious. So I got to give him props for that. I just don't know. And like you said earlier, I mean, just the long-term deal is just only what concerns me because, Ben Kennedy said in the announcement on Twitter that NASCAR had posted themselves that, hey, LA's an awesome market. The Super Bowl is going to be, 2 weeks before the race and stuff. So, I mean, what about the other years when you don't when you, don't have a major event that'll, precede yours, you know what I mean? So like, I'm just not sure if this will have the long-term staying power. I mean, we'll have to wait and see what happens. But I mean, I'm excited to see what happens, though.
I've got a theory on that. And I think this is just the cash grab. Go with where the Super Bowl is. Do it this year when you have the opportunity to do that. But what I really think this is a good chance to test the LA market for a majorly publicized kind of short track race in the LA market because what are they doing in Auto Club Speedway? It's becoming a short track.
And I even have a theory too that potentially that track will eventually have a championship for race.
So that's what I was actually going to say. I honestly expect 2023 the championship race will be at Auto Club Speedway. I think it's going to take a lot longer than we think to fully do those renovations. I don't see it being ready by spring of 2023. I think it's going to work out to where it becomes a championship race next year.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I will say really quick, Denny Delivers is asking how those Daytona Clash tickets doing. So I found out.
You're not getting a refund, huh?
No. It's even better. I think I spent like $80 or whatever on them or something like that.
Yeah.
All that money plus a 20% discount is going towards my Daytona 500
that's
ticket.
True. I forgot you're going to both. Never mind. It works out for you. There you go.
I could literally spend I was looking at it, and depending where I get the seat, I could literally spend $20 on a Daytona 500 ticket. That's freaking awesome. Like who could say that after like 1959 or something?
That's cool.
Just saying.
I want to say about the LA Clash. You're concerned that of it being. Is it a long-term thing? Like, I don't think that matters. I think if this is a one and done, that's fine as long as it packs a big punch.
If it's meant to be, if it's meant to be a one and done, then
they're gonna have to put it back to being a football field anyway.
Exactly.
So.
Like they're gonna have to put it together, take it apart. If this is a one and done, I think that's fine as long as they go all out and it maximizes where it's at on the schedule, the LA Super Bowl market.
But does that mean, so now all of a sudden the Clash is just going to start to rotate year by year now?
It could end up in Auto Club next year. I don't know. If they really feel like having it in California at a short track makes sense, it could move. You're right. I don't know. Maybe if it's a big success, they'll find it worthwhile maybe to transform the stadium every year. I have no idea. But my big concern, I'm overall a fan of it. I think it's an exhibition race. Exhibition races are meant to take risks. Hopefully it's a great big spectacle. Mm-hmm. But my concern is with them apparently bringing the next gen cars out there. And I just feel like, I think those cars are built for short tracks. I think in theory they should race really good. But when you're talking about like a quarter-mile track, it's going to be full contact. There's going to be spins. There's going to be
You're going to have to bump. You're going to have to move people to basically to pass.
Yeah, well, and I
could
worry
be
that
a test for Martinsville later on in the season.
I just worry that the team owners are going to be in their driver's ear a little bit saying, hey, these are a brand new car. There's an exhibition race. Don't wreck it. Don't be too aggressive.
It could be the opposite, maybe.
But I don't know. I know for a fact if they're racing basically obsolete Gen 6 cars, team owners wouldn't really care if they tear some stuff. I mean, you don't want to still, but they wouldn't mind nearly as much. So I worry a track that's hard to pass, where you're going to need to bump people to pass, combined with a brand new car that's expensive that they may not want to tear up. I worry it's going to lead to very passive, casual racing, and we're not going to see the no holds barred aggressive action that NASCAR is kind of hinting at and promising. That's my only concern as far as the actual product is concerned. But at the same time, seeing the next gen cars on display at the type of track that I think they're built to run well at in LA, with the Super Bowl in town, with Fox in town and everything, it has the potential to be huge. But there are some risks with it, I think so.
I think actually for me and my wife Claudia, that was actually the deciding factor of us deciding, hey, I think we're either way, me and her were planning to go to some race on the West Coast and make a few days of it and explore the West Coast. We were debating Las Vegas and then Phoenix in the spring. Now I think we've changed our mind. We're going to go see the LA Clash because we want to see the first chance to see the next gen cars. And Originally I was gonna be fine not going to Daytona 500 again. I didn't want to go 3 years in a row to it, but now that I know it's something different, something unique, it's actually what this made me and her decide. Hey, we're gonna take our trip to LA instead of Las Vegas and Phoenix.
Now, if they call it the LA Clash, I will have more respect for it because that sounds badass.
I think they're.
I think
They're
it is.
calling
basically.
they're calling it the Busch Clash at Los Angeles.
Oh, no, they're calling. I thought they were calling it the Clash at the Coliseum. Isn't that what I saw?
That's okay.
I'm gonna call it the LA Clash because it's easier to say that.
LA
That sounds like a
Clash,
soccer
Clash
team.
at the Coliseum.
It rolls off. It sounds like an '80s band, really. I mean, but
Isn't there an actual band called the Clash?
There's the
think so.
Clash and LA Guns.
Are they
It's
the
like a
Are they
mix.
the ones that do the "Should I stay or should I go"? Is that the Clash?
Yeah,
I think
so.
it is. All right, just
Yeah.
checking.
But I mean, like I said, I want it to succeed, and I think that short term it could. I want to see more like what a lot of the schedule changes they've done in the last year, maybe and this year. I want to see substantive, good, possible long-term things, not just quick fixes here and there. That's my big thing this whole time. I want to see the bigger picture addressed.
Hey,
And
come
what
to Allegiant Stadium next year, though. Please.
What I feel like they're doing is I feel like they're going, they're just going to 2024. That's what I feel like the planning right now is. The big picture is the next TV deal. And I get that's their big picture, but I think 2 or 3 years, I think you got to look more like what the next gen car is, something that can really take you through the next decade of racing or more maybe. But I think it'll be a good race. Like anyone who says, "Oh yeah, this will suck," it's like no, it's a 4-mile short track with 25 cars on it.
That's basically Bowman Gray. It's basically Bowman Gray, dude.
And there's so many people mad. Why don't you just go to Bowman Gray? Well, they're not looking to sell a few thousand tickets. They're trying to sell a lot.
There were some people that were saying like, "Oh, well, why didn't you just bring it to Bowman Gray?" I'm like, dude, logistically, Fox Sports is out there. It's
Bob Pockris made a good point that the weather in North Carolina in February is a chance of a snowstorm. Like, quite honestly, like it may just not be physically possible. There's
LA, say what you will about California. It's all good. Always good.
This past year, I mean, basically everywhere north, like basically everywhere north of Georgia and all the way west to like Utah was stuck in a snowstorm. Like,
yeah, because we went to Daytona and I couldn't go back for another week.
I got a flight out
Florida,
ASAP as soon as I could.
Well, and I do want to get to these other ones. By the way, in the chat, yes, this is a Clementine hat. But another big one here, and I think this has caused controversy. I don't really have a problem with it, but other people do, is Bristol Dirt is now Easter Sunday, the night of Easter, and it's the first time the Cup Series will race on Easter since 1989.
I'll probably still go to that one, but my only big issue is that if we're going to run it on a night, why couldn't we just do it on Saturday? Because it's going to make it harder for me to take a day off to get back the next day. So,
I think it's more the primetime audience, because I know that the night of Easter does have like a good primetime audience.
Because don't you get Monday off? You get Monday off, right?
It doesn't okay. Saturday usually well, no, because it's later. A lot of times I know Saturdays line up with the end of March Madness too. So maybe that's something they're thinking. Maybe they'll rotate the date with Easter. I don't have a problem with it, but I can understand why people do. I think it's a good move. But I can understand people not liking the breaking tradition and the religious holiday.
And also, it's usually
about NASCAR's fan base.
It's usually a week off, for people in the industry as well, too. So they've been used to that for so many years. So.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a bit.
I love that they're at least running it at night. That was a clear criticism of the first Bristol Dirt race. It needs to be a night race if you're going to run on dirt. So they're making that change. But yeah, my fear, and I'll have to look that up because that's interesting that Easter is known for having a decent night audience. Because I would have thought that the TV audiences on a holiday like Easter would be down. That's just my theory.
That weekend is up a lot of the time.
Then maybe it'll work out. But that was my big concern, was getting people to come to the race and watch it on TV when it's on, religious holiday. Like that might be a struggle, but maybe I'll be wrong. But I'm glad it's a night race.
I do think being a religious holiday does throw in a twist. I'm being realistic about NASCAR's audience here. It's generally
true, yeah,
Christian conservative,
yeah, especially in Bristol where the track's located. In this case, I think that's safe to say.
Yeah, so I can see there being problems, but then I also look and like everyone had problems with them running Darlington on Mother's Day, and that turned out to be like a giant ratings win.
It was good.
That's true.
Moms like NASCAR.
That's put that on a T-shirt. Well, and then give it to your mom who likes NASCAR. because
I'm gonna write that down right now.
There you go.
No,
Jared's gonna sell merch now. He's gonna sell it as a t-shirt.
Everyone you have to put your mother's.
You have to put the Out of the Groove logo somewhere on the shirt. That's my stipulation.
Okay. I'll put it like on the back, right?
Put it on the inside of the shirt where like no, it's the tag.
It's one of those inside out shirts. You lift it up and Out of the Groove Podcast Network is on it.
Like the inside tag of an NBA jersey. It's just there. You don't see it.
That's funny.
We can get though to one of the big ones. There's only one off weekend, and it's Father's Day. I'm cool with there only being one off weekend. I do think I like having racing on Father's Day. I feel like NASCAR is a very father and son kind of sport compared to others in a way.
Oh yeah.
But either way, if that's the one they pick, it's between the NBC, Fox, stuff. Like I get that. But I want to ask you guys about that because me, as someone who is very like ratings heavy on scheduling, absolutely loves this, but I want to hear what you guys think.
Sorry, I'm laughing at the chat, but yeah, I know it's just random. There's just stuff happening in the chat, but no, what was the question? Yeah, the one off weekend.
Good, Eric.
Like I understand for sure there's a lot of people in the industry that work for the teams, work on the teams, that travel throughout the year. I feel for them having only one off weekend is going to be season's already a grind even with years like this, but next year is going to be even more of a grind. So I definitely feel for them. But yes, at the same time, coming from your perspective, Jarrett, I think that consistency, only having one off weekend every week throughout the year, pretty much fans are going to know, hey, Sunday afternoon, there's probably a race on, that I think is going to help in some ways. Getting the season done in early November as opposed to late November as they had in years past, I think is also a solid goal and a good thing. But yeah, only one off weekend. I don't really feel for the drivers. I think they'll get over it. It's still going to be a grind, but I think drivers will handle it. It's the crews and the teams and everybody else that works behind the scenes that I understand some of their maybe disappointment or kind of dread.
Oh, I saw some things on Twitter. Some people were not.
There's a lot of people upset, and it's hard to work in that. Working for any department of NASCAR or for their teams, it is a grind. It's a year-round thing. Even during the off season, they're still very busy. So only one off weekend is a challenge. I'll give them that. But
it's something that you kind of know going into working into that what that details.
Yeah, everyone who goes into working in NASCAR understand it's a tough schedule.
Hey, sometimes they're gonna take some weeks off
there that honestly I think are worth. Like, look at truck drivers. I think a lot of them say they are oftentimes 6 days on the road, don't get to see their family for like maybe 1 day a week.
Truckers make a lot of money for a reason. Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, no, I see both sides. I'm just saying I understand why they're frustrated. I'm not saying I'm not the kind of guy to ever really complain. So but I understand why some people would be disappointed.
There's no such thing as a job where you're going to have like crazy tons of off time. Even doing this YouTube thing, we basically got to be working like every day.
I work 7 days a week. Some days harder than others, but
I get to sleep in whenever though.
In fairness, I at least work. I get to work from home. I'm not having to travel every single week, so at least that's why I don't complain. And but I understand why people would be upset with the schedule.
But at least I hope doing that kind of work, you love what you do. That almost doesn't feel like work, right?
Well, I'll get to because we do gotta get to the rest of the schedule here. I will say this though to finish out on the off weekend stuff is that if you add that to the off season, how many other jobs do you like? And I get that they work during the off season, they work during the off weeks, but I will say the off season they probably don't work like as much. They probably have a lot more days off.
Probably a lighter workload.
What other jobs during the year get like 13 weeks off or like 13 light weeks compared to normal? Teachers maybe.
Yeah, that's about it. That's the only thing I can think of, really.
Yeah, it's not very. So I think people in the industry, like, I get what they're saying, but I think a lot of them do need to understand that for people who are watching, like, they don't really care. Oh no, you're doing.
That's just the reality.
NASCAR still is a very blue collar fan base. That's what I mean. That's why I wouldn't be the one to complain. I understand why some internally might be a little frustrated by it, but I think they have to understand that most NASCAR fans are not going to resonate with people complaining about their job. That's not who the NASCAR audience is.
Think like this: your average NASCAR fan, you probably have a guy who works in a garage all week that has to do some tough labor. And he likes to go out and watch the race.
Tough labor.
Okay. So there is worse jobs that you could be working that hard at. That's all.
Well-
I think that's what most NASCAR fans would see it as.
Well, GN said someone who has paid maternity leave, maybe that's it. But I'm like, they pushed a baby out of him. I like that's on another level. I'm not going to comment there. Like, that's not my deal. But two other major changes to the schedule, and then I'll just read off some of the other ones. But a big one is Gateway is now added to the Cup schedule. I'm happy about this.
St. Louis, the Loop.
Actually, Madison, Illinois.
Oh yeah, pretty much, Madison. And
We have a Cup race in Illinois again.
There you go. Yep. There you
and
go.
I'm leaving this crappy state after 2022, so it doesn't
What
even matter
states,
for me.
what states do
Just in
you
time.
like, Jared?
Tennessee, Florida's nice, other than the crazy people. The Florida man is a nice legend. Georgia's nice.
It's very real. That is a real legend.
I know, that's what I mean. But he's an urban legend. I like North Carolina. Wisconsin's nice. Michigan, I like.
Wisconsin.
Shut up.
Cool.
Just broke the streak.
I like a lot of states.
Do you like
I
Michigan?
a lot of
Because Michigan flipped their date with Watkins Glen, I see in our on the schedule.
Well, yeah, but I mean, Michigan's nice. Michigan's nice. I do like South Carolina.
But Gateway getting the race though, that's awesome because they tried to get it in the early 2000s. NASCAR rejected them and then tried again. They're like, hey, well, we're open this time.
NASCAR was like, no,
I know. I do know they're close. I was just making a joke just to mess with Darian, and then he got me back.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'd say like I thought that they were past the opportunity. I thought the window had closed on them, to be honest, to get a Cup date, because it felt like all the momentum they had. It was kind of like Iowa in a way, just that they didn't close down, which is they're back open. But it felt like the momentum had left to get Gateway on and was moving to other tracks. And man, somehow like they got it done. I like it. I like the group that runs Gateway, because what they've done with the IndyCar race, like I think they could do that tenfold with NASCAR.
Oh yeah.
Fun fact about Gateway, random NASCAR sponsor. Do you know who was a sponsor of the car that won the nationwide race in 2009 there?
No, not that
Teenage
race.
Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Hold on. Let me.
The Clash.
Heineken?
The Walking Dead.
That wasn't out yet.
New Balance shoes.
What?
Really?
Who
They
won?
were sponsoring Kyle Busch in 2009 when he won there.
Okay.
Kyle Busch
would
had
never
a
guess
shoe
that.
deal.
Dad, I want them to come back so he can have a fire suit. It looks like he's wearing a polo, jorts, and have some white New Balance shoes.
I remember the 2010 race there, of course. That was when Edwards basically dumped Keselowski on the straightaway.
You're going to kill my boy.
You go kill my boy.
We can laugh about it now, thankfully, but
Yes.
it was,
Well, and then there's one more major shift in the schedule compared to the other small ones here. Homestead is back in the playoffs in the round of 8.
yeah,
no
crucial part. I love that they basically replaced the slot Texas has been in. Texas, they moved to like the round of 12, which is good. Quite less pressure packed scenario. That's fine. Just get Texas out of the way. Without anyone noticing.
Unfortunately, though, Texas is still in the playoffs, so it's not perfect yet.
Well,
the
fact that
We're working on it.
I'm still glad we don't have to sit through 2 500-mile Texas races.
Thank
that makes me
goodness,
happy.
yeah.
And they brought Circuit of the Americas back for a second chance. I'm so
Yes,
happy about that.
we're gonna come back. Hopefully, better weather there.
Each round
next
of
year.
playoffs now has a good mix of a lot of different style tracks. Too.
Yeah.
Because the biggest gripe I had about the round of 16 is that you had 2 short tracks, granted 2 different short tracks, in Darlington, which kind of races like a short track.
They're all using at least this year. I know next year will be different, but this year they all had the low downforce package. Yeah.
2 of our longtime viewers in the chat just found out that they have the same birthday.
Oh,
Berry Boy Blast says on my birthday, and the other White Castle says Homestead will be on his birthday. Nice.
Whoa.
That's
awesome.
awesome.
But to have Homestead back in the playoffs is awesome. I know some fans are like, make it the championship race again, blah blah blah, and stuff like. I mean, but
Maybe someday.
We'll maybe someday again. We'll see. I don't know. I think personally, NASCAR. It wouldn't surprise me if they start the whole rotating deal. So Homestead, I would assume, would be in that conversation, but at least
Good
it's
weather,
in the playoffs
good
again.
racing.
Yeah, it's in the playoffs again, at least.
So looking at some of them, we talked about Coda, Michigan, and Watkins Glen literally just flipped dates. Watkins Glen is now like the race before Daytona, which I think is on purpose because a lot of times Watkins Glen gets put on NBC. So 2 NBC races in a row, maybe right before the playoffs. Just saying.
Yeah, smart.
Richmond has been moved to the summer right between those 2. Kansas moves up to the second race of the playoffs, which would have been this weekend. Do you guys know how warm Kansas was this past weekend? Because I keep track.
Really cold probably.
No, it's
This
hot in
weekend?
Kansas.
Oh wait, no.
85 degrees.
Oh, it's actually good.
Do you know how warm it was? I say that jokingly. When I was there last year, the weekend before it is now. No. 38.
Yeah, nice.
My ass is still thawing off of that freaking bench. So I'm happy.
I still remember watching Martinsville in 2017. I think it was about 38 degrees.
Nice.
Well, Texas now opens round of 12, not in the round of 8. So that's good because Las Vegas is opening the round of 8, Darian.
Good. Yeah, it deserves to be up the to move up the playoff ladder there. Excellent.
Wonderful. Yeah, a lot of great schedule changes. Overall, I think it's a good balanced schedule. I don't have any major complaints. I think the Clash is obviously the biggest risk that they're taking. I don't know. I think a little details like putting the Bristol race at night, the dirt race at night, moving Texas, the All-Star race back to the weekend before Memorial Day, keeping Road America as the new 4th of July tradition. Like a lot of those things overall I like. I think they've done a decent job.
I give it a solid A minus. Like I think you could tweak some little things, but overall they have the direction right with where they're going.
Good point by Vote Kyle 3000. The Texas race finally won't conflict with the F1 race in Austin. That's off. They often either.
Eddie Gossage is gone.
That's true, but they're often landed on the same weekend or like 1 week apart. Now at least there's a little bit of a buffer.
I think that was on purpose. Like he over and over again talked about competing.
We're gonna compete with F1.
Also, just it's just now hit me that Nashville actually moved back a week. They can no longer advertise. Oh, Father's Day weekend, you can come to Nashville for the race.
But now they have 2 weeks to advertise it after Sonoma. So
not bad.
And 2 weeks is almost what it took to get in. So going to the mailbag question real quick.
These transitions are getting worse and worse. These segues are getting sloppy.
People at Nashville like us, Jared.
I know. I'm just making a joke.
I hope that doesn't kill the race next year. I hope people still show up.
No, I think people will. I think people will. It was good enough. I think it was a good enough race and experience for people to go. But really quick, mailbag question we got here. This is from Keegan asking.
Hi, Keegan.
What?
Hi, Keegan.
Hi. Asking, what is the craziest / funniest road trip story you guys have had in your travels to NASCAR races? P.S. Will any of you be at Bristol this weekend? I don't think so.
No, sorry.
Even me and Claudia are actually working that weekend.
Yeah, we'll be watching it out on TV. But dang, some crazy road
I might do a
stories.
stream during it.
I'm trying to think. I I mean, like we've had some.
What ones can we
awesome...
say that we?
That's what I'm trying to think.
We've said this before, but I loved how driving to and from St. Augustine to Daytona, I loved how everyone in our house, all the YouTubers, loved Buc-ee's. I love that Buc-ee's became like this beacon of light. Like that was seeing the reaction on David Land's face, on Slap's face, on y'all's face, going to and from Buc-ee's was
David acted
priceless.
like he lived there.
Yeah, he basically did. They spent like an hour there one of the days. I left, but that's what I heard. They spent there for a long time.
Yeah, I had this freaking pork sandwich there. It was the best $6 I've ever spent. It was
I walked in and I'm like, it's just a giant guest. Oh my god!
It's as everything there too.
I still have yet to experience Buc-ee's, and now I no longer call it Busey's. That's still the funniest thing ever.
It's a statue. The statue of the beaver.
Yeah, there's just a giant beaver statue.
It's not that big. It's like
fun fact. I haven't got to experience Buc-ee's yet. But I will soon. They're building a Buc-ee's in Crossville, Tennessee, and they're actually building one in Pigeon Forge that supposedly will take over as the new biggest Buc-ee's in the world.
Whoa!
I'm shocked they haven't done that already. Pigeon Forge seems ripe for the Buc-ee's picking, so that's a genius plan.
We gotta visit that one sometime. Eventually.
I can't think of any crazy I don't know that I have that many weird road trip stories to begin with, and I'm trying to remember which ones were directly related to NASCAR races. Like I think it's really I have one fun moment. I don't remember what race this was, but I think this was last year. I was late at night after a race. It was probably midnight, let's say, and I'm driving down the freeway. It's dark, and Spire Motorsports, the 77 hauler, going 95 down the freeway, just blows by me, and I'm like, I've never seen Spire go that fast in my life. So that stood out to me as something funny.
Let's see.
Hey, Eric, while we're on it, Scott McNew sent $2 and said, got a really dumb question. What is Buc-ee's? That should be one you answer.
I mean, quite simply put, it's a gas station / convenience store that's the size of a Walmart and has about 200 gas pumps. And when you go in, they have their own merchandise, a lot of tacky Texas and Western merchandise and souvenirs. And they have tons of snacks, a lot of great,
really good food.
Great
really good
pork sandwiches. All the meat in there is really good. They have beaver nuggets, all sorts of other snacks, and the cleanest restrooms both sides of the Mississippi.
Yes.
I mean, they have a statue appreciating their beaver out front.
Let me give a good recommendation. There's 2 travel YouTubers I've watched that have good videos on Buc-ee's. One, look up Yankee in the South Buc-ee's, or look up Kara and Nate Buc-ee's. Both of them have good videos on Buc-ee's if you really want to know what that is about. Going back to the question though, I don't know if there's been any weird experiences for me, but I think there's been some like fun ones that are memorable. Like Darian, remember before the All-Star race last year, picked you up from the airport, got to show you my old school, University of Tennessee. We went go-kart racing in Pigeon Forge. I tried to get Eric to come. He was close, but he was busy. Tried to get him to come with us. And then we went on that mountain alpine roller coaster. Remember how fun
that was awesome.
I think I went on that the day after y'all did. Yeah, that thing was treacherous.
Yeah. I think for me, I won't say it's weird. I will say one of my favorite moments like ever going to one of these trips was actually like the first time that all 4 of us met each other in person at Bristol. Like that was because we were just walking, like it's first, me, Darian, and Danny had been staying together and doing different stuff for a few days. And then Eric, when you showed up and you're just like, we didn't even know.
Rolled down my window.
Yeah. And then we noticed you last minute.
That was the first time we got to meet you. We were looking down at you.
Yeah, pretty much. And the day was like, you need to get parked. Go get parked.
And then when the 4 of us did the first podcast, all 4 of us have been in person together. That energy was great. And then, of course, Eric being down bad towards me with that comment.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Sure.
I don't like the way you phrase that. Towards you. I wasn't. No, hold on. That's need some context
about
there.
the comment.
He was just in general. Like
Let's go to out of context here.
Yeah, I don't like the way that was worded.
It's all right. It ain't as bad as slap on Twitter right now.
Oh my
or
goodness!
Any day of the week, practically.
He's gonna be eating a lot because of Gateway.
Gosh.
No, you mean the LA Coliseum.
It's hard though to pick one story. It's hard to pick stories that are appropriate for YouTube. The most recent trip, me, Jet, and IDK and 5 Point Spawn stayed out till 4:30 in the morning. That's literally a running joke. We stayed out till 4:30 in the morning trying to catch sharks, and we only found out later we were getting messed with by a dolphin. So we literally, it was funny because we all were like staying in the same room as Eric. And we get in there and like Jet and I are doing everything we can to be as quiet as possible. Like we didn't have enough blankets, so I had to cover up in bean bags. And then IDK comes in, yo, did you see this up there? And Eric's like, what the hell? Oh Jesus. He like turns over.
This is bringing back all the memories now. I don't want to say it just because they're not here. I don't want to say it's about their permission. But how can we never forget about those who are not aware of their surroundings?
Yeah.
I never want that story to go public.
I don't know if you can see this. This is where Jarrett slept one night. This is the pantry. That's an air mattress on the floor. Those are shelves. He slept in the damn pantry for no reason.
There's an extra mattress thing right here.
I had a few too many to drink, so
there's a fire extinguisher on the wall.
Hey, if the house caught fire, my drunk ass would come out and stop it.
And then he lost all the air out of his mattress too. Yeah. That's the funny part.
So I go to bed on a full air mattress, and I wake up the next morning. I wake up for everyone at like 6:30 in the morning, and I'm just on the ground. I'm like, man, this is more stiff than I thought it was when I went to. It's deflated. Jesus Christ! So I just go out and just sit on the porch until everyone else wakes up.
Yeah, I mean, like I can't really pick a story. I mean, like I'm trying to think of one. Yeah,
we'll make some new memories, Darian. We'll do something fantastic. When I'm in Vegas, we'll do something.
Look, I'll just say this in general. These, every one of these trips are like awesome. We make a lot of memories and stuff like that. And then I don't know, like for me, it's like the small moments. It's like the small moments are what get me and stuff. When we're like on the way to the track or like on the way back to the house, and like we'll like go through like a drive
Nirvana in my car on the drive to Daytona. I didn't expect that, but that's how I spent my morning.
And hey, I'm getting more into grunge rock though.
What was the one from Pineapple Express that we were listening to?
I don't want to get. I can't remember.
All I want to say is
boom, boom, boom.
no. Have you seen them? Have you seen them? Okay, we do gotta get back, but real quick, have you ever seen the musket version of that?
Keegan, thank you.
Yeah, that was a really good one.
Wait, seen the what version?
Where instead of a Glock, it's a musket.
Oh no!
So they have to like show it reloading, and it's a 12.5-minute song. Anyway, that's a good version.
That's funny.
Okay.
The pizza story. That's right.
Yeah, Claudia brings up. I always get the short end of the stick. It's all good fun, but yeah, the pizza story. Darren, you want to tell the pizza story, please?
Yeah, So it was on the way. It was after. What was it after the 500 or was it after?
No, it was after the Xfinity race.
Okay, so yeah, after the. Or was it? Yeah, after the Xfinity race. Because after
one of the two.
Yeah. So after one of the either the truck or Xfinity races, I wanted to order a pizza for the whole house. I was really hungry. We were all hungry.
We used code DannyB.
Yeah, I used code DannyB, of course, like I was supposed to. And the dude was he was an idiot. He just didn't hear me at all. And then I was trying to put in my card info.
That's DannyB25. DannyB25.
I say the card number once, and he's like, "Oh, well, it could be."
So this isn't his card number. He'll be just like 8888, and the guy's like, huh? 645.
Yeah, and then I'm like, no. I'm like 8888.
No, then you're like, oh, okay. Are you ready? And then he says it again, and the guy gets it wrong, and I just see him go like, and then I'm sitting in the driver's seat looking back. I think
everyone starts laughing.
Four of us or five of us, because no, Riss and I were in the front seat, and Jet was back there.
Jake was there too.
Okay, so Jake was there. Okay,
yeah.
So there are five of us in there, and they're laughing. They're trying to hold it in. I start laughing. Riss starts laughing, and we're all just, all right, okay. All right. And he clicks, and he just goes, he just F-bomb, and we lose it. Absolutely.
It was so annoying.
It was funny as hell.
I mean, like, dude, that really tested my patience, that guy did. I mean, I had basically had to repeat my card number 4 straight times until he finally got it right. Was it more?
Dude,
I don't even remember.
It was like a dozen, man.
I don't even remember, man. I don't know if it was a dozen. I don't know if it was a
dozen. You're like 888, and he's like, far.
He was something. He was always on something. Yeah. But yeah, that was funny.
Thank you for that question, Keegan. That was really good. If you want to send one, go to weeklypodcastguest@gmail.com. I'm sure Blue Jimmy will put it in there real quick for us. Don't send it to be on the show. We'll ignore you. But if you send a really good question like that, might be on here. So weekly podcast.
That's one of the best conversations that's happened in one of those in a while.
It really is. That was a really good one.
That was a good one.
And that was brought to you by one of our sponsors, Lionel, which is the official diecast of NASCAR. You can order your 2021 diecast. I saw, for instance, at Richmond, that Dale Jr.'s Richmond car, the 911 tribute, that's already ready to go and on sale. So you can get that one. You can get it on LionelRacing.com, or you can get it at Walmart, any Lionel retailer, anywhere you want to get it. Guys, what do you got this week for diecast?
Oh, Eric has the car from Herbie Lovebug.
I picked this up at Darlington at one of the tents outside, but because it just looked cool. It's Dale Jarrett with the UPS/Herbie fully loaded Herbie the Lovebug look. I mean, it's a cheesy movie, but I liked it as a kid, so this is a fun one to have on my shelf.
See, I'm getting to the point now where it's like I only have so many diecasts, so I'm gonna have to start showing ones I've already shown. But I mean, I just wanted to pick the Bubba Wallace BLM one, good message, all that stuff, and looked really awesome when it ran in person. So we ran at Martinsville. So yeah,
I've got Mr. Defending Winner, and this is actually a car. He ran this scheme at Bristol Night Race in 2018. I saw him run that car, saw him crash that car too, but it looks really good before it got crashed.
Well, I have Dale Earnhardt's pink K2 car right here.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah.
Anyone remembers there was a commercial for Team Monte Carlo with Darrell Waltrip, Terry Labonte, Jeff Gordon. There's probably one more.
Pink?
Yeah. And they were talking about a pink car. It was real.
Mm-hmm.
It was real. So this one was hanging up in my grandpa's garage here. And I was looking at it. And this might surprise some people who know him just from Racing for Childress, but this is a 1956 Ford.
Ooh.
Yeah. Let me see. I think it says what type of Ford it is.
One of those Ford coupes or something like that.
It does. It
Model
doesn't say
T.
what type. 1956 Ford Victoria.
Victoria.
Car.
He drove a Victoria.
Yep. So Dale Earnhardt's pink car, my grandpa has it hanging up in the garage. Well, had it.
He had it. Yeah.
But once again, we want to thank Lionel for sponsoring the show. And Darian, what segment do they also sponsor?
Let's see. Well, let me check the itinerary.
We do this every week.
Oh, wait. Oh, no, never mind. Hey! It's the lightning round on the NASCAR Weekly Podcast. I got scared. I thought I missed something in the itinerary. I'm like, wait, there's another ad read I got to do? Oh,
what
my God.
did we always ask you to do?
Oh, my God.
You have one job, Darian. It's to blow out your microphone.
The one job. See, I feel like every show, I always mess up at least one thing. So
your microphone's almost
part of your charm. Yeah, this week it's the microphone. It sounds like you're quiet again.
I thought that was my end that I couldn't hear him.
Quiet.
Anyway, while he fixes his mic problems, let's roll through this lightning round real quick. Well, you can expect another Daytona Next Gen test in January with anywhere from 25 to 26 cars. Preseason Thunder. I mean, that's what they did with the Gen 6. Derek Kraus is expected to return to the Truck Series next year for Bill McAnally Racing in 2022, according to Toby Christie. Be sure to check out the Outer Group Podcast Network. I just want to throw that in there really quick.
Yeah.
Got shows like Lifetime. Like a Lifetime in NASCAR, Noah Talks NASCAR, and then Lionel's new show, Authenticated. Just saying, they talk about a lot of cool stuff with diecast. So maybe this one will be on there. You don't know.
Awesome website.
Yes, head to groovymotorsports.com. Everything is there. The latest from all of us and everything we're doing is right there. So check that out.
And you can see our smiling, beautiful faces. Coolers are now going to be allowed this weekend at the Bristol Motor Speedway. So they reversed their policy. They're letting people bring in coolers.
Oh,
good job, Randy the plumber.
I was about to say, did Randy the plumber protest this one?
Yeah, with his 4-hour protest before he showed up in Nashville.
I think this finally reached a point where we know coolers is not going to make a difference on what we're doing.
Yeah. NASCAR and NBC has delayed their documentary until 2022 that was going to be following the playoffs due to the Delta variant. So it was originally planned to debut next year on USA Network. Probably had to debut in 2023 on USA Network. This according to Adam Stern.
It's a whole new playoff.
Yeah,
I don't know how that's going to work, but
the Whelen Modified Tour will start off its 2022 season at New Smyrna. So Speed Weeks is kind of saved if you think about it.
That's good. Yeah, it's a good event. Yeah.
Sage Karam is going to be racing the number 31 for Jordan Anderson at Bristol and at the Roval.
Oh, Sage Karam at Bristol. Hey, that's intriguing. Ovals. That's very intriguing. Hey,
and the Bristol Dirt Nationals will return in 2022, according to Bristol.
Man, if you're going to have the dirt, you might as well.
Alvin Kamara had a NASCAR visor in the Saints beatdown of the Green Bay Packers. I'm going to throw that in there when I can.
He loved that. Hey, you're all tied for first place in the NFC, North?
Actually, the Vikings, due to loss differential being the least, lead the division.
Hey! Texans lead the division as well.
Y'all
saddest division in football.
No, I mean, at least a team won in that division this weekend by proxy. Yeah. Matt DiBenedetto has denied all rumors of his alleged signing with Colleague, though other rumors are going around about him signing with Spire. So the rumor mill is definitely strong with this one.
Season.
If that is the case, he's probably like, I wish I was there.
Ultimate 23 Dragon, I hope you're watching the truck race because Carson Hocevar is running a Johnny Benson throwback this weekend at Bristol, and it looks hot. It looks nice. John Hunter Nemechek will be in the number 54 at Talladega, Texas, and Phoenix, while Ty Gibbs now has the rest of the races this season. Justin Allgaier is also back at JRM in 2022. So
that corn money, gotta get that corn money.
On their way to 5 money. Corn money.
That's such an interesting thing.
Money.
Yeah. Sheldon Creed is going to be running in the RCR Xfinity car next year, whether or not it's a second team or the 2 team. I don't know if they said yet, but Bob Hawkins has said he'll be running for RCR. The RTA is looking to expand to a digital media network, according to Adam Stern.
We've got you covered already, RTA.
Yeah, we already have it. We already have a digital media platform here. Yeah, we already have it.
Eric Jones is looking to run the U.S. Air Force Tuskegee Airmen scheme at Bristol. I love that. I love that the Tuskegee Airmen are actually getting the props they deserve.
They're getting so much praise nowadays.
I love it.
It's cool.
I absolutely love it.
It looks great. I
hope they call the Washington football team the Red Tails. I really do. It fit the colors. It'd be an awesome, awesome all around. But anyway, last thing here. Happy birthday, Quinn Half. Starcom is shutting down.
Wow, that's so maniacal.
I mean, it's true. Like they waited till his birthday to shut the team, like to announce shutting the team
I
down.
wasn't ready for that. Damn.
But anyway, that was it.
And that'll conclude the lightning round on the NASCAR Weekly Podcast. And now, back to the show.
As always, we have to thank our other sponsor, Forney Industries. Forney offers a full line of welding and plasma cutting machines, metalworking accessories, and more. For do-it-yourselfers all the way to professional metalworkers, Forney has everything you need for your next project. Shop Forney's top-of-the-line products at ForneyInd.com. That's ForneyInd.com, or at an authorized Forney dealer near you. Keep a lookout for that green Forney logo. No, not corny. I know we were talking about corn, but that's Forney Industries, supporters of the NASCAR Weekly Podcast.
Yes.
All right, guys, set me up. Someone set up the 5-minute clock. Let's go through some super chats
I'll
here.
do it. I got you.
AJ's on deck. We got him. He's in the green room. I just heard. I'm rating him to him now. No, hold on. Yeah.
Yes. Oh no,
right.
That's the calculator. Give me a second.
God, we're having a good time tonight.
There we go.
First round texted me. He said he can't do this anymore. He's tired of us waiting.
No, he told me something completely different. He says he's ready to go. Jarrett, you got to hustle through these super chats.
All right,
okay, Jarrett. All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, I'm sorry I didn't see it. Didn't show up on this, but there was a $5 super chat before the show. Thank you for that. That's awesome. Isaac for the $1.99 says Jar Jar Binks sucks. # I stand with Darian. TVP _83. I love saying it like that. Thank you for the $100 super chat, man. That's really awesome. I want to say that. He says, with this donation, I have now donated to all 4 guys on screen $100 or more. Keep up the great work, guys. And it's Bristol, baby. Well, thank you, man. That really just cut the act.
Appreciate the generosity. That's very kind.
Yeah, that's really, really cool of you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Jar Jar Binks says, Misa need 2 Poconos in Michigan's race. Wisa gonna boycott Gateway. Says Wisa not gonna. Jesus, he's just saying Wisa a lot. Thank you, Jar Jar, for your $4.99.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Vote Kyle 3000 for $19.99 super chat. Says got my seat and RV spot for Coda today. Nice. Unlike last time, I was immediately able to select my seat and parking spot. Hopefully, they're better organized this time and allow sunscreen inside the track.
Well, I don't know, Eric. How hot is it in March?
The sun's deadly 24/7, 365 out here, but it shouldn't be too bad. It could be 90, it could be 40. We'll see.
I saw it rains less, and that's what I'm happy with because I don't want to get soaked again. Santa Claus, thank you for the $4.99, says Santa is extremely angry with you, Eric. You're on the naughty list like Darian. Both are getting...
What did I get on the naughty list for?
I'm not reading that. Dang it,
I
Danny.
think I read what that said earlier. I don't think you want to read that.
Dang it, Danny left a $5 super chat. Thank you. Says, I think the LA Coliseum race will be a good test to see how the composite bodies hold up to bumping and banging.
That's a good point.
And that might be part of the reason why.
It is. Yeah, perfect.
Santa Claus, thank you for another $5, but I'm not going to read that. I'm sorry, man. Merry Christmas. Andrew Meyer, thank you for the $10, man. Says the clash at the LA Coliseum is a fantastic idea on paper, but in practice we shall see. I hope it works, but I think more SoCal residents or I assume that's Southern California residents will choose Auto Club over it like I did. Good schedule, in my opinion. Again, we'll have to see. Hot Piss, thanks for the $5. Says, so what's the verdict, boys? Will I see y'all in Bristol? Also praying it doesn't rain. Unfortunately, we can't make it this time.
Not happening.
I haven't about to see what the weather looks like.
Yeah, it just scroll down. I got it ready. Let's see here. I'm making sure everything is still up. Indiana Jones, thank you for the $5. Says still trying to find Harvick's talent. I haven't been successful. However, I found that he's a hypocrite and a cheater boy, and he dreams how to wreck the field.
Hey,
Indy, not you too.
I'll give him this. They stick with their memes. They stick with them forever.
Give him credit. Jar Jar Binks, thanks for another $5. Says he's mad that there's a fake. Apparently, there's a fake Jar Jar in the chat. He just says Misa did not write that, nor do I support those so racist comments. He said 100% condemn them. Oh, good job.
What'd you say?
Oh wait, yeah, I saw what he's talking about. Yeah. I'll tell y'all after the stream.
Hey, Eric, did Jarrett freeze, bro?
Oh, wait, he did.
Oh, he did. Oh my God.
Hey, get the backup ready. Get the backup ready.
The backup what? We don't have another
I don't-
Jarrett.
I don't know.
Jarrett, get him out, Eric.
We don't have another. I can't extract him. Oh, my dear.
And now it's time for the AJ Allmendinger interview.
I mean, honestly, I guess we might as well. Yeah, Jarrett will be back hopefully soon.
Yeah,
with the
we
super
might as
chat.
well play the interview, bro.
I guess in the meantime, let's go to our interview yesterday with the one and only AJ Allmendinger.
Oh wait, hold on. He's back.
Back.
Hold on.
I'm back.
I already told.
The internet was having problems. My bad.
All right, never mind. Wrap up. We got a few more super
All right.
chats.
Daniel Schnell, thank you for the $5 super chat. Says we need to ban Darian from tweeting during NASCAR races. If they can ban Donald Trump, they can ban Darian from tweeting our favorites.
Get buried.
Hank Hill, thank you for the $4.99. Says Harvick moved next door, and apparently Harvick's a bad guy.
20 seconds. 20 seconds.
Lukio, thank you for the $5 Canadian. Says, bruh, he's a pigeon. Bernie Sanders is my hero. Says we need 2 Poconos and 2 Michigans. Make of that what you will. Greasy nuts. Thank you for the $4.99. We need to see. The AOC stand says that Richmond needs a repave with those bad worn out tracks. The last one we'll read here is from Platinum Paradise. Oh, it's fine. It's fine. Last one here from Platinum Paradise says, I think shaving more days off speed weeks makes the Daytona 500 less special. We'll read the rest of the super chats after we do picks tonight, but right now we do have a special deal set up with a special guest, even if he doesn't think he's a special guest, with AJ Allmendinger. So I guess I'll just say enjoy.
Let's hope this button works.
Enjoy.
What's up, everybody? We're back again for another interview on the NASCAR Weekly Podcast. This week, we're joined by a really special guest, a really winning guest this year, AJ Allmendinger. AJ, how's it going today?
Doing well. I like that I'm special. Like it might be the first time I've ever been told that.
Well,
for a good reason, at least.
I'm glad to tell you. I'm glad to tell you for a good reason. And well, something else that was really special that you had was your race at Indianapolis. We were all at it. We got to see you win in person. And I think we all want to know, what was that like, just going across the line, winning at the Brickyard?
Yeah, I mean, really, it was surreal. It's something that I've dreamed about my whole life, whether it was the Indianapolis 500 or being there for Brickyard or just, in general, racing at Indy. I've done a Rolex race there, and it's one of those places that, I think even if you're not a motorsports fan, you can say the name of the racetrack and they understand the history and what it means. So I was really upset the day before because in the Xfinity race, I thought that was our best opportunity to go win. We were really fast. We sat on pole and I made mistakes early in the race and we were able to get back to the lead, but the strategy didn't work out. So after Saturday, I was really upset, disappointed. I knew our Cup car was pretty good, but, for a lot of reasons, whether it's us just being a part-time team or not really having a full-time pit crew. We bring those guys in from the truck series. And even really after practice, I thought it was probably one of the worst practices we'd had so far in the Cup series when it came to outright speed. I knew we weren't going to be horrible, but we had like a seventh place to 10th place car. So the way that race played out at the end, it was almost like coming across the line like, did this really just happen? Because I feel like so many times I've been on the other side of it where you feel like you should have won and you didn't. And for it to play out the way it did and to be able to win at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway in the Cup Series with Collard Racing, we've had 3 great years in the Xfinity Series, but to win in the 7th Cup race ever for the race team at such a special racetrack meant the world to me. And it was just one of those things that, my first Cup win at Watkins Glen, it was almost like relief. Like I don't have to be asked the question anymore, will I win in the Cup Series? So in a way, like you enjoy it, but it's half of it's relief. And at Indy, like I try to take every moment possible, whether it was the celebration after or us in victory lane or really just being out on the front straightaway, kissing the bricks with all the team, like try to take that in and just try to remember it, because it's moments that for me will live with me for the rest of my life, and I'll cherish them.
Speaking of cherish, one thing that I've noticed about you, AJ, and especially I noticed this when I was watching the Michigan race where you won, just how happy you sounded after that win. And one thing I've noticed, it's like I described your career as being resilient, no matter how big the highs have been, or we know that there's been some lows throughout the career as well. I mean, 20 at the end of 2018, didn't know where you'd be standing. Now you're back full time in some capacity. So what's it like when you get those wins? Because to me, it seems like you treat every win as if it might be your last one.
I mean, it could be. Like, I hope not. It's I love where we're at college racing, and the opportunities that Matt Collig and Chris Rice, all the men and women here at college racing, that they give me. But yeah, I mean, I went a lot of years without really even coming close to a win. I mean, it's my first couple of years in Cup, I felt like my first 4 years I was like clawing and scratching just to try to hang on and be a part of the sport. I was an open wheel guy that came over from Red Bull, and hell, we missed over half the races the first year, and the second year races, I felt like I was just starting to understand what I was supposed to be doing in a stock car. I got let go, and then from there on out, I mean, 2009, I gave pretty much, for the most part of the season, every bit of prize money that I got back to Richard Petty Motorsports, because we were only supposed to run 5 or 6 races at the start of the year, and I was just trying to survive. So yeah, I've spent a lot of years in my life, especially on the NASCAR side of it, just trying to survive, let alone experience what the highs are of winning a race. And, I got those opportunities with Team Penske in the Xfinity Series in 2013, and was able to get a couple wins. And then obviously, as I talked about, the Cup win in 2014, and then went another 5 years with, I mean, we had a couple of close races, but nothing spectacular of coming close to winning a race. So heck yeah. I mean, we're in this to win races, and we're in this to enjoy it. So why not celebrate? Well, I mean, why sit there and get out of the car and give yay, and then you go to victory lane and you move on? Like, it's one of these things that now I'm in double-digit wins in my NASCAR life. Like, after 2018, I never thought that was an opportunity of happening. So heck yeah, like, we're here to celebrate. We're here to have fun with it. It's important to not let it get too high and get too low, especially when you're trying to make a championship run. But I know what the lows feel like, so I'm really going to enjoy the highs of winning races and having college racing there, and whether it's my wife or my family, whatever it may be, like celebrating together, because that's what we're supposed to be doing. So why not enjoy it?
Now, in the post-race pictures, it looks like you and your team are very, very closer than some of the other teams in the garage area. Kind of go into full detail on your relationship with colleague racing.
Yeah, I mean, I can't talk about what other race teams, and how close they are, but I'm at a different point in my life. Like, this is probably my last stop in NASCAR. This was a stop I didn't ever expect to happen. I didn't know after 2018 I was part of NBC Sports, and I thought that I was kind of making a transition to the next part of my life, and I got this opportunity to run a few races, and now it's turned into this. And I love Matt Collig. I love Chris Rice. I love the men and women at this race team, and not is partners in the sense of like, yeah, this is my job, and these are the people that I work for and I work with. Like, I truly try to make everybody here my friends, and because it's one of those things, I get on the other side of it. If you're a younger driver and you're like, okay, what's my next stop? Or I want to get to Cup, or this is what's happening. Like, I love what I'm doing, and I try to show my appreciation, and truly, sure, is Matt Collig the car owner, and at the end of it, my boss, of course, and I respect that. But I feel like he's way more closer of a friend than he is my boss. And the same thing with Chris Rice and all the men and women here. So I try to show that, and I think we try to live each day at the shop and at the racetrack like that. And sure, at the end of the day, like, we're there to go out there and perform. So when it doesn't happen, you're mad and you're frustrated. But I always think if you have each other's backs and you can go to war with these people, and good or bad, whether you make a mistake or they make a mistake, yeah, you can be mad about it. But at the end of the day, you don't bury somebody for it. you try to build everybody up, like you're only going to be better from it. And I think that's why you see why we're so close. And whether it's the teammates between me and Jeb and Justin, or just the fun that we have at the racetrack and away from the racetrack. Like, I mean, that's true. It's not fake. And that's why we should be here. You should enjoy the people that you work around.
Well, speaking of being close and having each other's backs, why is Colleague Racing so damn good at super speedway racing? Because you've got 3 top 5s this year. Is it the cars? Is it the teamwork, the discipline? What do you chalk that up to?
I think it's all the above. It starts with fast race cars. Colleague Racing has always been really good at the super speedways. I feel like I've been able to really help on the road course side of it, and people like Ross and Justin over the last 3 years, and now Jeb being here and myself running the downforce cars, like we can kind of help move along that program. But ECR and RCR has always been fast on the super speedways. That carried into Colleague when the team started. And then I really believe that it's going back to that family atmosphere and going back to having each other's backs. As teammates, you have to, at the super speedways, if you can work together, it makes it so much harder for the field to kind of break that up. And especially when you have fast cars and you can run up front and you can dictate the races. Like if you know that as your teammates, sure, you saw at the end of Daytona this year, like we all 3 side by side, we're there to win the race. But we made sure that it's like, okay, if I can't win the race, like I'm not going to hurt my teammate in the sense of he can't win the race either, and you let somebody else win the race. At the end of the day, if a Colleague Racing Chevy is in victory lane, then we've all won. And Matt Colleague sets that attitude. That trickles down with Chris Rice, and then it trickles down through the rest of the team. So I think that's why we're so good on the super speedways, because we have fast race cars, but as teammates, we work together to make sure that if we're all up there, it makes it that much harder for anybody else to win.
Well, you're talking about getting a colleague car in victory lane. Yours has been in victory lane a lot this year, 3 times so far. I was looking a bit at your season so far. You've led over 350 laps. You've had 15 top 5s in 25 races. Like, you've been on fire. You're leading the points. What kind of confidence does that give you heading into this final stretch of the season?
It gives me a lot of confidence. I think early in the season, we had a couple of tough races. The wreck at the Daytona road course with Austin, that put us in a deficit. And then Homestead, we were really good all race. And then I got spun out on the restart, and I think I finished like 13th or 14th. So I felt like we were kind of in a points deficit when it came to the 22 generally all year. We basically, from I think the 4th race on, we were anywhere from 75 to 100 points back. I would gain 10 one week, and then he'd gain it back the next week. Middle of the season, we were trying some stuff, and we probably didn't have as much raw speed as we wanted. We kind of survived and run some top 5s, but we never really had speed to go win the races. But over the last few weeks, I really feel like we've kind of honed in on what we need to do. We're really building fast race cars because we know, obviously, whatever happens at Bristol, whether it's a regular season championship or not, we're going to Vegas first or second in the points when it comes to the bonus point structure. And you can't have any mistakes. And you got to unload at Vegas and be at your best. And you got to carry that on through 7 playoff races, hopefully, if it works out right. So a lot of confidence. I really feel like you said 15 top 5s. We've kind of shot ourselves in the foot a few times. Easily could be 24 or 25 top 5s out of all those races. So we're there, and that's good. When we're not at our best, we're probably a 4th to 7th place race car, and when we're at our best, we can go win these races. So a lot of confidence going to Bristol and getting ready for the playoffs.
It's great if the success has been on the Xfinity side. Colleague Racing, going Cup Racing next year with 2 full-time cars and Justin Haley being one. You'll kind of be making a few appearances here and there over the Cup side. So 2 questions here for that. 1, what are you looking forward to most about the next-gen car? And 2, welcome back to the All-Star race, and we're hopefully going to find out the schedule here soon. And I don't think it's been announced where that is per se. Would you like to be back in Texas, or where would you like to go race the All-Star?
Let's go race it at a road course. Why not?
I'm sure you like that.
Saw that coming.
Like, I mean, it's an all-star race. Like, just let's do it at a road course. Honestly, it's I don't mind wherever they put the all-star race as long as it's a great race. And with the next gen car, as they keep developing it and trying to figure out what the package is really going to look like, I guess that remains to be seen. Now, you can't hold out on the schedule to see where the car is going to be good at and not good at maybe. But yeah, I just want it to be a good race. I've been part of the All-Star race at Charlotte, and there's been some great races. There also been some boring races at the All-Star race. So, Bristol, I thought was a cool idea, but to me, the race, the way it played out, the short stints aren't great for Bristol. Maybe that aero package that day with the car at Bristol wasn't the best. But yeah, it's one of those things that wherever it is, it's cool to be a part of. And I'm sure that's, a race that we'll probably do if everything's going right with the Cup side of it and the Xfinity side of it. So it's special to be in the All-Star race and to be locked into it. I've been locked into it once, and I've had to race my way into it. I think I did it 3 times or so. So yeah, an awesome event to be a part of. And, we'll see with the next gen car, kind of how it keeps developing. I've talked to Kurt a little bit about the road course test, and maybe we'll do the road course test when it's at the Roval, but it sounds like it's a cool car on the road course. So that's probably what I'm looking forward to. And hopefully we can keep developing it so that it's good on all racetracks that we go to.
Now, we just talked about this being your best season in NASCAR up to this point. 3 Xfinity Series wins, 1 Cup Series win, totaling to 4 wins so far in 2021. Looking back at your karting career, in the old kart series, you had 5 wins in 2006. So, are there any similarities with this season and your best season in Indy cars?
That year in Champ Car was really strange because
it was called Champ Car at the time.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, it was part of kart.
Car,
but that's what was unfortunate about the open wheel side of it for so long, because they were split, and we had some of the best racing against Sebastian Bourdais and Paul Tracy, Justin Wilson, but we didn't have all the best guys like Elio and Greg Moore back in the day when he was around, and when the series had split. So unfortunately we didn't have the best of the best all together. But that was a strange year, because it was one of those things where I was with the team that I had been with for a couple of years, and we kind of talked, and it wasn't going well, and they decided to go a separate way, and I got hired by a new team, and then went out and won the next 3 races, and we won 5 out of 9. Could have easily won 7 out of 9 that year, really. So, but I think what resembles that year for me is the fact that when I joined that new team, like, it fit like a glove. It was like I had been there forever, and everything, even though it wasn't easy, it just seemed like everything ran smooth. Like, we didn't have to talk a lot about it. We did our thing and got out on the racetrack, and the cars were fast, and we executed, and we won races. And that's kind of the way it's felt like with college racing this year. We kind of got on a good path here, and we know the cars are fast, and now it's just about executing. That's something going to the playoffs, at least on the 16 side of it, we probably need to be a little bit better at. There's some races that we haven't executed that we probably could have won this year, but I'm sure a lot of people can say that. So, but the cars are fast, and it just seems it's not easy, but it's easy and fun coming to the race shop, going to the racetrack with these group of people at college racing. And it was the same way back in Champ Car when I was at Forsyth. It was like we just showed up at the racetrack, and it was just easy being around everybody, and it made it fun.
Well, before we turn it over to Jarrett with a couple of fan questions, my final question, you've obviously won a lot, raced a lot of different things in your career, but what is the biggest goal that you have yet to achieve that you've set for yourself in the world of racing?
Wow. I mean, that's a good question, man. Like, I don't know if I have any goals. Of course, I want to go out there and win as many races as possible. But right now I've been so fortunate in my life. I've been able to say that I've won an IndyCar. I've won a Rolex 24 overall. I've won now a couple of Cup races. I've won at Indy now in the Cup Series. I've won on an oval in the Xfinity Series now. So I guess maybe winning an oval in the Cup Series would be a goal. But other than that, I think it's just take it as it comes. Of course, it'd be awesome to go win a championship like that. That would be a defining moment. Hopefully we can do that this year. But the way the championships are in NASCAR, like it's tough to A, get there, and then B, it's down to one race. So you could have the best. You see Kevin Harvick last year. You could have the best season ever, one of the best seasons ever, and you don't even make it to Phoenix. And you can't define that as, well, it's a bad year because we didn't win a championship. But of course, we want to win a championship. But from there on out, like I'm just enjoying it. So it's not really like this is what I have to do. I think it would be really cool one day to go run Le Mans. Like that would be awesome. It was something that stood out to me. My longtime friend that passed away, Justin Wilson, he'd run Monaco. He'd run the Indianapolis 500. He'd come to some of the NASCAR races to watch me, and he told me the coolest race he'd ever been to and raced at was Le Mans, hands down. So Mike Shank told me the same thing when they went over and did that a few years ago. So Le Mans would be really cool, but other than that, I'm just taking it as it comes and feeling fortunate that I've been able to do a lot of things in my career.
So to finish out the interview with you, we have 3 fan questions. Now, people sent in a bunch when we announced that you'd be on, but these I think are some pretty good ones. First one's from Omar. He asks, how did winning at Indy compare to winning your first Cup race at the Glen back in 2014?
Yeah, so it was obviously from the sounds on my radio, it sounded the same when I crossed the line. My voice went to a different octave that I really knew that it could go to, or maybe it should never go to again. But like I said, it was like it was pure joy, both of them. But like I got in victory lane at Watkins Glen, and as I said, you're excited, but part of it is like, oh, thank God, like thank goodness I don't have to answer this question anymore about will I ever win in NASCAR, and at least in the Cup Series. And so it's like you have fun with it, but immediately the next day, like you're like cool, and you're already preparing. I think it was for maybe Michigan or Bristol was the next weekend, and you're already like, oh, this is great, and you do some interviews and you're like preparing for the next race. Like Indy, I mean, we had a great time. Nothing crazy that night, but Matt Collig and I and Chris Rice, like we literally just sat in the driver lot drinking the rest of the night, like staring at the pagoda of my name on it. Like it was surreal. I couldn't believe it. Went like laid on the back straightaway at 2:30 in the morning, and just like some tears finally rolled down. Like, I can't believe that this has happened. I've won at Indy. Like I'm a part of something really special. And won't lie to you guys, I threw up at 6:30 in the morning on the back straightaway as well. I drank a lot, so I was quite excited. And then, like, even leaving the racetrack, as we're pulling out, I was like, oh my God. And Chris Rice like, what? Did you forget something? What's going on? I'm like, does my banner go on the side of this racetrack now as a Indy winner of the Cup Series? I'm like, so like, I think I'm just cherishing it more because they both mean a lot to me, but A, it's Indy, and B, it's like, I just never expected this after the last couple of years of what happened and you know, not knowing if I was ever going to really race full time again, to winning at Indy. So like it meant the world to me for sure, winning there.
Well, you might have answered this next question from Tyler. He asked, what's your favorite moment in your racing career? Is it that, or is it something else?
Indy for sure. It went to the right at the top of the list. You know, winning my first Champ Car race on Father's Day after I'd literally been fired on a Tuesday and went to a different team on Friday. Had never met anybody there, and went and won my first Champ Car race on Sunday. And it was Father's Day, and my dad was there. That was really special. But, you know, I think the moment at that time and now even more special is Rolex 24, because I had tried so many years with Mike Shank to try to win the race. We'd been so close so many times, caught on fire with an hour to go leading the race, dominating the race, and something would happen. So in 2012, winning it with Oz Negri, which had been really instrumental in my career as a young through Skip Barber. With John Pugh, we tried to win it. And then with one of my best friends, Justin Wilson, that I always just thought was one of the best in the world and always looked up to for many reasons, because he was 6'4" and I'm like 5'1". And then with Justin passing away a few years later, like that win will always, just that experience with Mike Shank, which is a brother to me, and for so many reasons. So I'd have to put that and Indy like so close to each other because of some different reasons, but because of what it meant in that time and what it'll mean in years down the road.
I just want to point out we can all kind of like understand where you're coming from because of our friend Eric here, because you don't see it in these little boxes, but he towers over us.
Yeah.
He's tall.
Yeah, he's taller than Michael Jordan, so
Yeah, wait,
it's
true.
Well, the last question here, we'd said before the interview that we need to be really serious, so we're gonna be. It's from Barry Boy Blast. This got up.
That's a start right there for sure.
Oh yeah. It got upvoted a bunch. He asked top 3 favorite candy bars.
Oh wow, candy bars. I'm not even a candy bar person.
It could just be candy in general.
Oh, candy in general.
Yeah, candy in general.
Favorite bars.
This is easy. Yeah, candy bars.
Not that serious.
I could do a Snickers, but that was it, But maybe a Baby Ruth just for my love of Jeff Gordon back in '91. Candy for sure. Number 1, Mike and Ike's. Number 2, Swedish Fish. Number 3, Hot Tamales, and then right behind that is Sour Patch Kids.
That's pretty good.
Nice.
That's pretty good. That's a good list.
Respectable.
Well, AJ, we've kept you on a while here. So 1, I just want to say thank you for coming on today. And then 2, where can people who are watching find you? Like on social media or in general?
Well, I'm on Twitter. I keep a low profile, so I'm just on Twitter at AJ Dinger. But all the college Twitter page, Instagram pages, websites, everything like that. That's where I do a lot of my stuff with because I'm around them all the time. So that's what we do.
Well, AJ, once again, thank you for being on. And now back to the show.
And welcome back to the show. Again, a huge thank you to AJ Allmendinger for joining us. That was like almost half an hour he spent chatting with us yesterday. We hope you all enjoyed that. Jarrett, where you've made it to the home stretch of the show, Bristol is this weekend. What's next?
Oh, well, we got 3 races this weekend, triple header, baby. And looking at it here, let me just give you everything you need to know going into the weekend right here. Cup channels, NBC Sports Network and PRN Performance Racing Network, Saturday night at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Same deal, except Friday night at the same time, same networks. Truck race, FS1, MRN. So if you're on the road, different channel to look for. Starts Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Yes, tomorrow. It is tomorrow. Good point.
Late race.
So looking at the weather right now, tomorrow is 78 for a high, humid with periods of thunderstorms, 40% chance of rain. So still relatively good. Then looking at Friday, 80 degrees, mostly cloudy and humid, 25% chance of rain. Now, this is awesome. All week, I've been keeping track of the Saturday odds of what it looks like for the weather. And it's been like 70% chance of thunderstorms. Well, today just got updated. It's going to be only cloudy, 80 degrees, 25% chance of rain. So it looks good, promising, I should say. Now, Darian, what looks promising with the betting odds this week?
So according to the VegasInsider.com, the betting odds for this year's Bass Pro Shops night race at Bristol Motor Speedway, Kyle Busch is entering this weekend's race as the clear favorite, plus 400. And well, Kyle Larson's not too far back. Never mind, he's only plus 450 entering this weekend. Denny Hamlin's plus 600, Chase Elliott plus 800, and rounding out the top 5, Joey Logano at plus 1,000.
Give us a good long shot or two.
Yeah. Good long shot or two. I mean, let's see. Kurt Busch is entering at 1,500 odds this week. I mean, that's can make some money there. I mean, he's a proven winner there, of course. I'd also say, let's see, some other guys. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is really low. I can't even. Oh, there he is. I mean, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Say what you will about him.
He's good at Bristol.
He's very good at Bristol. Bristol enters this weekend at plus 800, or excuse me, at 8,000 plus odds. So
all right, last one here. Give me the RCR boys.
RCR boys. Let's take a look. Tyler Reddick at plus 3,000. Austin Dillon at plus 4,000 as well. So
nice.
Yeah. So watch out for those guys.
Well, and we'll need this knowledge. I will need this knowledge, especially after this week, because of the pick points. I'm still leading, 496 points, but the lead has significantly been cut down by Eric, Darian, and everyone. Eric is down 33 now. Darian is now up to third, minus 67. The chat, y'all are 71 back. Guests, minus 98. And Danny, you're bringing up the rear, minus 111. So
Hey,
What do you have to
podium,
say
though.
for yourself?
Podium, y'all. Let's go. I told you I was gonna get back on the podium. I mean, the chat's still on my neck though, so I'm not entirely in the clear yet.
Yeah, I love this
We'll see.
chat versus Darian head-to-head rivalry. I think that's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's get into race picks right here. We'll start out with the truck race winners. Who wants to go first? Darian, do you have the guest pick? I know who we got for Xfinity, but do you have guest pick?
Let me see.
I'll be going first since I'm the local boy here.
Yeah, go ahead. Go
All
ahead.
right.
So for my pick this week, I'm actually going to go with Chandler Smith. That's going to win at Bristol this weekend.
Ooh, I like that pick.
That's a good. That's out there. I like it. I like it.
So I don't have the guest picks yet. I'm still waiting on them, but I'll get mine out of the way. John Hunter Nemechek, I'll go with him. Had a pretty awesome run in the Xfinity race at Richmond, giving Sam Hunt Racing their first ever top 5. And I mean, we know what he can do in the truck series, so we'll see what happens.
Make sure we keep track of the chat here. Or Eric and I gonna have like a standoff. Who goes first?
I was just double checking one thing. The chat made me concerned. Ooh,
What?
I don't like that truck though. So Sam Mayer's racing, but it's the 32 truck. I don't know if he can overcome that. All right, I got my pick. Everyone, say it with me. Say it with me. Sheldon Creed. He's gonna go 3 for 3 sweep the first round of the Truck Series playoffs. Calling it.
I was gonna go with John Hunter Nemechek as well. Man has the hot hand in general. Has the most bonus points. Has nothing to lose. I think he's gonna go for it.
The guest pick also picks Sheldon Creed. as well.
Creed.
So.
And
And also,
now what-
congrats to Creed on the RCR deal for next year too.
That's right.
Chat is looking like John Hunter Nemechek.
Yeah, I saw a lot of John
Yeah.
Hunters. Let me
Yeah.
refresh it. Yeah, John Hunter.
Is Alfredo in there? Someone said Fast Pasta.
Is he racing? I don't think so.
I don't
I don't think
racing.
so.
Yeah, I don't think so.
It's a
But,
playoff
yeah.
race. I don't think Cup guys are allowed in playoff races.
Point. It's
Cool.
it's looking like John Hunter, but there's a lot of Creeds. It's just a lot of stuff, but John Hunter is.
They like all of our picks. I see nothing but John Hunter, Sheldon Creed, and Chandler Smith. So we did
I
good,
just
y'all.
see-
We did
Well,
good.
I see Chandler Smith as the same guy saying it. So.
Yeah, I see Smith, Hunter, and Creed.
I love how they make Creed's name. Look how long it is. I love it.
Creed.
It's between Creed and John Hunter.
Yeah.
What are we thinking? I think it's
It's
I think it's-
close.
John Hunter.
They
Yeah,
can't spell
it's-
Creed's name. I see Crees.
I see
Creer.
career. Yeah, career. Oh my god.
Well, I'm gonna put him.
It's Scott Speed.
I'm gonna put him down for John Hunter. So the chat and Darian will be tied at least with the truck race tomorrow.
I'm the only one that's got a real chance to like hope for something crazy.
Let's see what happens.
Well,
Okay.
who do we got for Xfinity? We go in the
Now,
same order here. Let's go.
Obviously, for the guest pick, it's AJ, of course. I mean,
Of
he just
course.
has
Yeah.
one, so yeah,
Yeah.
that's a given. But who's going? Oh yeah, Danny's going first. Go ahead.
He's won here before on a hot streak. No, Gragson.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Let me ask this question: is Ty Gibbs in the event?
Yes, he is.
No,
Yeah.
Ty Gibbs, of course. You know what it is. Ty Gibbs, everybody.
This is a tough one because Sam Mayer has not impressed me this year in Xfinity. Some of it has been the car, but he himself has made some mistakes. I think he's looked a little overmatched at times, just like a young teenager learning, of course.
Yeah, he's had his moments.
But-
Though. He's had some moments. But,
22nd.
yeah.
But he had top 5 speed in that 99 car at Richmond, and Bristol's been his stomping grounds. He won here. He dominated here at 17 years old in a truck. I'm going to go with my boy Sam Mayer. This is a risky one, but I think Sam Mayer is going to be in the top 5, and I think, honestly, it's going to come down to him, Gibbs, and Gragson. I think those are going to be the 3 at the end of the day, with Allgaier in the wings, you know?
Man, we're all going to pick different people. This is going to be an interesting Xfinity race. I'm picking Allgaier because Allgaier, I looked back, and this year, for some reason, people who have done well in the past can close it out. You know, like who've done well and not won in the past can close it out this year. It just seems like it's been a trend. Allgaier has led the most laps in the last 4 Xfinity races at Bristol by a wide margin. I think he gets the job done finally. This season feels a bit different. I'm going Justin Allgaier.
I literally just double checked to make sure Mayer was in the 8 car and not like the 99 or something this week. But he is, so we're good.
And now we got the chat because the guest, like we said before, is AJ Allmendinger.
Yeah.
So what do we got for the chat?
Some big picks right now.
I saw Allmendinger a few times. Well, now I don't. Never mind.
I've seen a
I've
couple
been
people.
seeing Meyer a lot.
I've been seeing a lot of 7s too, and it's from different people.
Well, I see a lot of Harrison Burton picks now.
Yeah, there's a few for
Yeah.
Burton, which is
They're
weird.
coming in fast now.
Let's see. We got Gragson.
Oh, Eric Estepp got one.
Hey. There's like 4 or 5 people doing the Harrison Burton.
It's pretty
ones.
split. I'm seeing so many. Like there you go, 9 and 8 and a 7, and then Harrison
So how
right in
about
a
this?
row. Like
Should we have them put the numbers in?
yeah,
Just
go
Put the
numbers.
in, guys.
Yeah, go numbers with it.
But it's looking like they're going with a junior motorsports car, perhaps.
I saw a lot of Gragsons in a row for second there.
Yeah. Oh, now we're getting the numbers. Let's see, 54. Well, someone picked me. I'm not racing, but thank you.
Oh, I see a lot of 9s.
Yeah.
A lot of 9.
Noah.
No,
Picking the
yeah,
red.
Noah.
That's what it
Picking
looks
the
like.
red hot hand.
They're
Yep.
going with me.
Is that no offense, Danny? Is that a good choice?
I mean,
I
Chad's
kid.
doing better than I am, so
Good point. All right, who's gonna suck in the cup race?
Who's gonna suck, Danny?
who is going to suck? Tell you who's going to suck. Alex Bowman's going to suck.
Let's see.
Oh crap! Do I have to pick him to win now?
No, don't pick him here. He is legit going to suck.
Yeah,
You told me that at Richmond.
He's legit going to suck here.
You told me that at Richmond.
He's really going to suck here.
I mean it. I swear, if he wins, that would be
gonna-
the greatest meme ever.
He
I'll
probably
go.
will because I'm not there and I'm not even going to be getting to watch this race. So he probably is, but he's going to suck.
I'll continue. I'll go with Michael McDowell. He's already a dead man walking this weekend in the playoffs. Basically.
So
He
vivid.
is, y'all.
Damn.
I mean,
You just chop the low-hanging fruit, why don't you?
hey, he's entering this week. He's not gonna make it, but watch him win miraculously all of a sudden. But nah, Michael
And
McDowell.
watch it get rained out, and he's like out there during green flag pit stop.
Yeah, just somehow the 34 gets another rain short and win again somehow miraculously. But yeah, unfortunately, Michael McDowell.
I'll go with Alex Bowman as well. They just haven't been as fast as the other Hendrick cars. Well, they're faster than Byron last week, I guess, but that wasn't a huge accomplishment. And as Danny says, as we've mentioned, his numbers at Bristol have not been great the last couple of years. So I think Bowman struggles.
So I went back and I looked at who had sucked in the past couple of races, and I was surprised by the guy who turned out to be my pick sucking, whether it was just finishes or stuff happening or whatever. Martin Truex Jr. just can't finish in the top 10 at Bristol.
He gets
usually
wrecked
does really
too.
good, but he usually gets in a crash, just like
Yeah.
that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going MTJ. Who's our guest got?
Somebody said David Starr gets park lapped 11.
All right, who's our guest got, Darren?
Suck. Oh, he didn't even give me suck picks.
Nah,
Dang
That's
it.
fine. It's fine.
It's fine,
We
it's
don't
fine.
need
Yeah,
sucker dark
it's
horse.
fine.
Chat
He gave me the win
and
pick though, at least.
Chat saying 34.
Yeah, I'm seeing McDowell's, a bunch of McDowell's. All right.
All right, who's our dark horse for Bristol this weekend?
He's forever in our hearts, Matty D.
That's a good one, though.
Yeah. This was a tough one. You had me personally. I was gonna pick either Daniel Suarez, Matty D, Tyler Reddick, Bubba Wallace, or Eric Amarola. But then I thought, I'm like, wait a minute, this guy's on a roll. Ross Chastain, obviously. So yeah, that's my dark horse pick.
Yeah, that's going to be my dark horse as well. I feel like I should pick somebody else just to talk about somebody else.
He's
but
just too good.
yeah,
He's too good.
Chastain's been shockingly fast the last couple of weeks. I think he continues it.
Oh,
Man,
no, well, my
I
guest
thought-
finally said Bowman for suck, and for the dark horse pick, they picked Stemhouse. They said Stemhouse instead of Stenhouse.
Well, that's a good one. I'm surprised no one has brought up this guy. He was good with his past team. 43 has shown a lot of speed. Eric Jones, man, he's a dark horse.
I
Might not
remember
be for a win, but for a top
2017.
10.
I remember 2017, his rookie year. He almost beat KFB here.
He
Well,
should.
not even that in the last couple in general. He was very good at Bristol, and I'm surprised that
Have some
nobody thought
faith
to
in
pick
him, Eric. You have to have some faith in him.
Oh, I think he's fine. I just think a great run for him will be 14th. I remember 2019, he had probably the best car and then slapped the wall racing to Benedetto late in the race. So
Yeah.
that was
Right.
rough.
All right, who's the chat got?
I see a it's 43, but it's the same guy. It's the same.
It's
It's the same guy. Yeah. All right, chat. Who do y'all got? Let's see, Christopher Bell or Matty D. Somebody says.
He's putting the same thing.
Yeah. And somebody predicts Eric will sweep the weekend. That's a major points and implications.
I gotta sweep my floor and clean my kitchen this week. It's a mess.
He's got to sweep it first.
Yeah, just put numbers in right now.
Yeah, let's put numbers in, guys.
Seeing a couple for DiBenedetto, and then a couple for Kurt Busch, and then a couple for Kevin Harvick,
and some for 42s,
and then 2 for Blaney. Like it's 2. Keep seeing them in pairs.
They are in pairs. Jeez.
Matty D. I see Matty D. Ross Chastain. I see.
I think I'm seeing a lot of McDowell's, which is funny. I think it's just one guy, but I think it's Chastain, honestly.
Yeah, I'm seeing 42 a lot. And from
I'm seeing
people.
1 a lot too.
I mean, I see some 4s, but Harvick, he's not a. I don't know.
I don't know.
There's a lot for Kurt Busch.
Oh,
But Kurt Busch really isn't an underdog, though, is he?
Well, he's on the cut line, so you could maybe
at Bristol,
argue.
though.
Yeah,
Kurt
I
Busch?
wouldn't consider him an underdog
That's
at
true.
Bristol.
We'll put Chastain down for him.
All right, that's good.
We'll put
Not like it's
Chastain,
for
guys.
points.
Yeah, we'll put Chastain.
All right, Darian.
So now, ladies and gentlemen, who's gonna win? Who's gonna win at Bristol, y'all? Danny?
Easy pick, Kyle Busch.
Dang, that easy, huh?
Damn.
Yeah, he was quick.
And?
Yeah, for sure.
And he'll throw Gragson in the air. I don't know.
That's a good prediction. He probably will.
Look, listen, man. The Toyotas, they seem to have it figured out for the playoffs at the moment. You know, we already saw Hamlin won. Already seen Truex win. You know what? I'm taking a bit of a risk here. It's a bit of a risk here, but you know, we know his talents.
Going with this.
We know some talents elsewhere. You know, he has other. He certainly has other talents elsewhere too. But you know, at Bristol, you know what? Let me get a little risque here. Christopher Bell. I say Christopher Bell takes the victory.
I knew he was going
Let's go.
there.
Let's do it.
Ready to
Christopher
join
Bell.
in the bottom again, ain't
shock everybody, man. Just watch. I think he'll surprise us a little bit.
You're
Or,
ready.
like,
You're
a lot in this
already,
case.
ain't you, Darian?
Yeah. So I already locked in. I think Christopher Bell. He'll get it done at Bristol.
I haven't been a big fan of Kyle Busch's sort of attitude to begin these playoffs. I feel like he's a little in his own head. He's a little disorganized at the moment. I think he's letting things get under his skin. He's making mistakes. His team made a mistake last week, but I think he wins at Bristol. Back against the wall, best track for him. I think he wins it.
Oh, Eric, you're really gonna have to depend on your on Sam Meyer beating Justin Allgaier and Sheldon Creed beating John Hunter Nemechek, because I'm also picking Kyle Busch this weekend.
Okay.
I just think man finished second last year in a really down year. He's not completely back to where he was before 2020, but he's still at a really elite level. I don't think Kevin Harvick beats him, and I don't see anyone else really rising to the occasion to beat him. So I'm going Kyle Busch on this one.
So who's left? Do we get to give our guest pick?
Oh, the guest picked Chase Elliott to win.
Oh,
Yeah.
that seems to be where the chat's leaning as well.
There's a lot of 9, there's a lot of 5.
Well,
Yeah,
the
see,
9, there's
I'm
one
not.
person putting 9.
I see a lot of new nines though
a
coming
lot
up.
more than one person
There's
saying 9.
there's a lot. I know, but there's one that's like spamming it.
Yeah, it's. I think it's leaning Elliott at the moment.
Yeah.
Mickey Elliott. There you go.
Hey, he won the All-Star race here last year, and he won was it the spring race last year?
No,
my bad.
He's only ever won the All-Star race.
Only won the
yeah.
All-Star race. Who won the spring race? That was the one that
Brad Keselowski won.
that's right. Elliott. That's right. That's the one.
Oh.
Elliott door slammed Logano.
Yeah.
There's some small influxes of 18s, but I think it's Elliott.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll go with
Give him the
Elliott.
mouse.
Elliott. Sing that Mickey Mouse Clubhouse theme. Yep. Piss off a Chase Elliott fan today.
Marsh?
Oh boy.
Oh my God, that was actually really
That was
good.
a good one.
Hey, I
That was
used
a good
to live with that guy.
one.
All right, well, that's the race picks. Let's get these final super chats tonight, shall we? And then we'll announce our guest for next week.
Sorry,
That
I
should be
just
really
gotta say this.
exciting.
Eric, he was more like a landlord. Let's be real.
Yeah, that is true.
All right, Flying Gator, thank you for the $1.99. Remember the last time Larson raced on Easter? I don't want to.
Took me a second.
And it's on dirt, so.
Can anyone hear him? All right.
That's
Samuel
bad. That's bad.
Samuel McDaniel says $5. I don't know if y'all heard, but Starcom is shutting down after this year, possibly. That's why they sold their charter to Spire. Yep. Flying Gator, thank you for the $1.99. Says Larson was too busy, so he took a year break. Damn. Scott McNew, thank you for the $5, man. Says only state that I've been that I don't like is Ohio. It's like driving through there whenever I travel I dread driving through there whenever traveling for a race. Well, I stopped in Ohio. It wasn't awful, but I mean, it wasn't anything good. Scott Piss or Hot Piss says, Scott, you don't have to hate on my homeland like that. Scott, oh crap, it just redid it. Oh yeah, Scott McNew says for $5, an idea: lock in Homestead, Martinsville, and Phoenix for the last 3 races and rotate them. I like that. That's a good idea. Scott says also really dumb question. What is Buc-ee's? We explained that earlier. Keegan, thank you for the $5. Says thanks for answering my mailbag questions. You guys rock. Well, you rock. That was an awesome question, man. Sean Taylor says. Trailer. I thought I said Sean Taylor for a second. Says for $4.99. Hot take. I think Harvick is the best NASCAR driver. I think he'd have more wins than Larson if he was in the 5 and would have won the regular season championship too.
I don't entirely disagree.
I think he'd be definitely right up there. It's just hard to guess.
Well, I think he's a cheater boy like all the other guys.
Oh, jeez. Hot Piss, thank you for the $1.99. Says Eric is trying to hide that he's going to Bristol. No cap.
I wish, but no, unfortunately not.
Yeah, I wish too, but just stuff. Camden Jester, thank you for the $4.20. Says this is my favorite NASCAR podcast. And then I wonder if I scroll up if I'll see it. Crap, it's already gone past it. Burritos left a $4.99, but I can't see what it is. Like, because that's just YouTube has this thing set up. If there's like one more, I can pause the chat and then read burritos here.
Just to say, I gave you $4.99 to go get a burrito.
What?
You said his name was burritos, right?
Yeah.
I said just to say, I gave you $4.99 to go get a burrito.
I might after the race. I get one of those like nice Taco Bell like grilled chicken ones. I like grilled chicken. Well, thank you guys for your super chats. I'm sorry, burritos. I wasn't able to read it. It's not popping up on here.
Yeah, and I can't scroll back to it either. I was trying to find it.
Oh, thank you, Chris Cahill. That helps. Because when it he said a great interview with Carly
Oh yeah, because it had.
That's the PR. Yeah, it's the PR. And then Chris Cahill, thank you for the Canadian $5. Would you move Talladega as a cutoff race in the playoffs to bring the same intensity as Daytona does for the regular season finale? Personally, I wouldn't. I like where it's at now. I like having a recovery race.
It used to be a cutoff race, and it was fine. Yeah. It was exciting, but it's fine where it's at. I like the Roval as a cutoff race is also fun.
Yeah. Well, that wraps up Super Chats unless any more pop in. So I guess we can preview next Wednesday, September 22nd. We're on Darian's channel, 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 Central. Darian, who are we going to be joined by?
We are going to be joined by one of the best stop motion YouTubers in the one and only Miss Craft will be. Ooh. Oh yeah, that's how you say his name, right?
Yes.
Craft? Okay, I was making sure. So Miss Craft, I watched some of his stuff. It's awesome. Follow him on Twitter too. Awesome guy, spectacular. To have him on next week only on BFM, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Yeah.
Can't wait. That's going to be exciting. I met him at Darlington. He came up and started talking to me, and I didn't realize who he was at first. And then his voice, I was like, wait a second. And then I asked, I was like, wait, what? You a channel, right? And that's when I felt really foolish, but he was really cool. Great to have him on the show next week. I'm excited for that. And yeah, we'll be on Darian's channel. Good times.
Yeah. It'll be awesome.
All right. And maybe keep a lookout on Saturday on my channel for something, maybe Saturday night. Yeah, I think that covers it, guys. What do you guys think?
We're good.
Roll this baby out.
Yeah, let's end it. Let's end it off here. I gotta get some Taco Bell.
That's right. I'm in control. My bad. Oh gosh.
Let me know when the outro starts up.
It's starting.
It's starting now.
And it's gone.
It was dead silent. How does that happen?
It didn't cut out as bad this time. But goodbye.